I'm Chris Verlotti with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings clinched the Pacific Division last night with their 121-103 win over the New Orleans Pelicans. The win also tied a franchise record with 25 road wins for the season, tying the 2001-2002 Sacramento Kings. For more on last night's Kings performance, check out our Kings insider Frankie Cardicelli's recap on SactownSports.com. Kings are back in action tonight when they take on the Dallas Mavericks. With the Kings win and the Grizzlies win, the Kings will clinch the third seed in the Western Conference. You can listen to tonight's game starting with game night at 4 and tip-off scheduled for 5:30 right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now it's time for Deuce and Mo.
Live from Sacramento.
It's Deuce and Mo
On Sactown Sports.
We are live! Oh, Deuce, Mason, Morgan, Reagan, and Chris Watkins, the home of the Pacific Division champions! Sacramento Kings, just like we all thought before the start of the NBA season, that the Kings on April 5th, 2023 would be sitting ahead of the Clippers. What? Ahead of the Lakers. What? Ahead of the Suns. What? Ahead of the Warriors. What? They are the top of the Pacific Division. Pretty sweet.
Too sweet.
Thank you.
Pretty dope.
So good to be with you guys today. We got a jam-packed show with Chris Watkins. We got our guy Combo back, and the one and only, the icon, the legend, Jerry Reynolds with us live today. Jerry, believe it or not, the last time the Kings won the division was 82 years old. So it's wild how time flies.
Why you got to do that? Why you got to do that?
What do you
Honestly,
mean?
He's joining our show today. Why you got to do that?
Why does that have to seem like it's a shot? He's still
That
alive
would make
and
him
kicking.
102 years old today.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, what?
I mean,
No, like the context
how
of
old was he in 2003 then?
in 2003.
I might be
not
off by
celebrity
2 to
birthdays.
3 years.
I'm going to guess
Chris?
60 years old. Is he even 80? No, he's probably like younger than 80. So he was probably
I
like
don't know.
57.
I would say not 57.
See?
I would say not
See?
57, but I would
Really?
also say not 82.
I always think
I would definitely say somewhere in between 57 and 82.
for some reason.
He was.
Oh, how old?
Any last
Okay.
guess?
Okay, I'm going to
you
guess
just heard-
All right,
57.
he's 63.
63, 57?
Yeah.
70.
70.
I don't
He
know.
was 59.
He is 59.
I told
He
you.
Yeah, I
looks
don't know.
so old back then.
Oh,
too.
my
No, he
God.
looks younger now.
Okay. You
No,
know,
he has aged well.
can I be?
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
going to
what?
be honest about something too. Jason Ross, ever since I met him, I've always thought he was just like in his late 30s. I don't know why, but
Interesting.
always,
Yeah.
always. And I don't, and it's been like now, what?
I know this fool has something to
Yeah,
say.
what? Yeah, what?
Jason has looked like he's in his mid 40s since 92. Okay. So-
Yay.
Enough about that. That's how long it's been. The
You
Kings.
They
can't
had
talk with
hair
Mr.
last
Pimple.
Jason Ross had hair last time.
Do you
The
see this
Kings won the
pimple on his
division.
face?
So-
Also, we're all like going over that Chris thinks that Jerry Reynolds is 90 years old.
I was just spitballing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We
that was
just
pretty rough.
brushed
We
it
were
under the
joking
rug.
and you were being serious with your guess. It was kind of offensive, to be honest.
Say you're sorry.
Jerry. I'm sorry, Jerry. That was so uncalled for.
Well,
Joke's
yesterday on the show, we were talking about how we wanted to see at least I wanted to see a statement game. I wanted to see the Kings come out and look like a team that was irritated by what happened at home against the San Antonio Spurs. They got to a slow start. It was 14-4, but they're playing defense. What a statement victory by the Kings yesterday. That was big time stuff. A great bounce back.
Mhm.
And probably their most complete. I know Mike Brown said the same thing. Their most complete win of the season.
Yeah, it definitely felt like it was. They answered with defense, which to me was the best part about the game. Their shots, you mentioned the shots weren't falling to start the game, but they kept that same level of defensive intensity, and eventually the shots started falling as they tend to with this team. And yeah, they got a great win. I mean, yesterday New Orleans. By the way, New Orleans crowd yesterday
Huh.
pretty weak. I
Weak.
saw. I looked up
Weird.
the attendance and the capacity. About 2,000 unsold seats, and felt like
I
there was
told you.
nobody in that
They
crowd.
don't care about the Pelicans.
And like that's a very important game for New Orleans. I mean, they came
Yeah.
in yesterday. They could have been a playoff team if they get that win. The Kings are the number 3 seed in the West. Like there was real stakes behind that game. Not much of a turnout.
What an awful feeling for, I mean, just an organization and
Yeah,
like the
right.
vibes, right? But
So they've changed their name. They've been beyond average throughout their history in New Orleans. There's just not a deep connection.
Yeah, there's not a deep connection. And I loved every moment of it because they look dumb having all those empty seats. Haha. And on top of that, the Kings capitalized on everything that wasn't working for them. And I mean, they created a lot of the troubles for the Pelicans yesterday, just the way that they were playing defensively once they really started making those adjustments, the way that they would fill in the gaps, right? And not allow CJ McCollum or BI to attack those gaps well. And they would blitz BI and then make life so much harder within their decision making. The ball pressure was just phenomenal from De'Aaron Fox to Davion Mitchell. I mean, when you see everyone locked in like that, but then on top of all that, guys, Mike Brown talked about it. Every guy, all 5 guys on the floor seemed like they were just on a string defensively. Yes, it's pretty wild what you can accomplish with team defense if you're doing it right.
Yeah. I think the thing too that I was happy to see with them playing defense was that the offense didn't seem to really, be affected by it at all. You would think, they haven't really played much or that level of defense all year. Maybe they're giving a little bit more intensity, a little more effort defensively. Maybe they're a little more tired on the offensive end. No, they still put up 121 points, still were incredibly efficient, able to get into their stuff. And, it was like Mike Brown said, it was just such a complete win all the way through. The defense was incredible from De'Aaron, from Davion, who I think Dyson Daniels is still having nightmares about him. Kessler Edwards, I thought did incredible when matched up on Brandon Ingram. I loved it. I love to see the defensive intensity. I thought Alex Len brought something again defensively as well.
Yep.
Just a great statement win. Like they really did put their stamp down and they dominated that game and didn't leave much to the imagination.
Yeah, I just loved what they brought. And now you look at the home versus road numbers again.
Right.
Want the updated ones? Kings on the road now are tied with the second most road wins in the NBA.
Okay.
With the Celtics.
Wow.
For the second most. Milwaukee's number 1. They are now number 2 in offensive rating on the road. And they propelled themselves to number 8 in defensive rating on the road.
Damn. Wow. Okay.
Also the only Western Conference team with a winning record on the road, which is incredible because not only are they above 500, they're 12 games above 500. I think something. I think they're 26 and did they get?
I think they're 25 and
14.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah,
and that's why when you look at these numbers too, I think it's. I don't live and die by analytics. Like I do believe that sometimes there are people who just go, well, there's no way they're going to win if their defense is this rating. And it's like, oh, let's calm down, nerd. But you do see these numbers and how it is translating into the way that this King squad is playing and especially how they're performing when they are on the road. And I think it's not fluky and it's very telling to what type of team they are. And so when people do have the argument, like, what are the Kings defensively? And it's like, you're a casual. And I get that. There's some teams that I don't know about, like even going into the Pelicans game, I didn't realize until the day of when I was doing some of my homework that they were, 6 in defensive rating. And just like, I knew that they were playing well, but I didn't realize that their defense had been doing that well too. So it was really cool to see that the Kings took on a good defense last night and still kept growing those numbers.
They took the lead at the end of the first quarter and literally never looked back. I mean, the Pelicans made a little cute little run. But the Kings were locked in. And it was just, obviously the offense when it gets going is special, but it goes to show you get some stops, then the Kings offense becomes even more elite. Right. The ball was moving around. After the game, Chris Peterman had a piece on the win, and he noted that the Kings had a rough film session going over their defensive lapses in that loss to Spurs, which helped set the tone for Tuesday's game on the road. Fox says it wasn't long, but it was brutal. Kevin Herter says it was productive. It wasn't kumbaya film session. He got on some guys, and we know we needed to be better. We talk about the wake-up call. Maybe that's exactly what they needed. You hate that you would need a wake-up call this late in the year, and it sucks that it had to happen on your home floor. But if this is what gets the Kings going, like, oh, we're going to get our asses kicked in the playoffs if we play like we did against the Spurs. But if you play like you did last night, you're winning a series.
I know, Deuce, just that, like it sucks that you need a wake up call. I think sometimes what we have to realize is that they've been playing good basketball for pretty consistently throughout this year. Their record shows it. Obviously some of their numbers show it and everything. And I just think it's totally normal to have those wake up call moments for a team. And what's great about the Kings, you don't see those wake up call moments like end up being a streak, right? Whether it's a losing streak or crappy basketball
they
streak.
get out of it fast.
And that's what I think is just like so cool about them. But I also think you got to give a lot of love and credit to Mike Brown for doing that.
Yeah, I definitely think the wake up call is if I'm glad that it happened when it did. It's kind of a perfect time for it to happen, kind of a perfect opponent for it to happen against. It didn't really affect the standings too much, but the fact that they're able to now play what I would call three consecutive really high stakes games for their opponents after that is really encouraging for me. And I'm excited to see how they respond tonight against Dallas as well, a Dallas team that has their backs to the wall. Golden State really needs that win on Friday. So I'm glad that they realize that they need to kind of lock in defensively before playing those opponents, because now we can get possibly a 3-game sample size here of what the Kings would look like in a playoff intensity kind of moment.
Second, I have a back-to-back for the Kings in Dallas. Vegas has a spread. The latest one I saw was at 6.5 point favorites for the Dallas Mavericks. Makes you wonder, well, do they know something we don't? Maybe the Kings are electing to sit some guys tonight.
Well, Matt Barnes talked about that last night on the post-game show. Like, is this what Mike Brown does going forward, not only for this game, but even for the last game of the season against the Nuggets? And it makes me cringe a little because I'm like, no, get to that 5-0, get to that 5-0.
Well, to be honest, I think Mike Brown's probably looking at the way Dallas has been playing defensively going, I could put Doug Christie and Lindsey Harding in there and we could score 120.
Dude, that is true.
I mean, they could ball, and Dallas can't
true.
stop anyone.
Great point.
So
great point.
Maybe that's it.
So stupid.
All right, we'll talk more about this coming up. And what was going on the last time the Kings won a division? We'll talk about that much more. It's Deuce and Mo with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports, 1140 and SactownSports.com. Hey, YouTube chat. Appreciate you guys being here. Hit that thumbs up. Tyler says, I legitimately think our arena is just way easier to shoot in than most arenas. I don't think that's the case. I think it's easier to shoot there because of the Kings defense.
I do think that there is something to that. People would say that in the people say in Barclays, because the way that the lights are and how the seats are, it's dark behind the hoop. And so it's just like your depth perception. You just have really good depth perception. That could be way overanalyzing.
It probably is.
Yeah. I would say so. All the rims are kind of the same.
Yeah.
It's all the same distance. It's all pretty much the same playing surface.
How's a cookie, Morgan?
Morning cookie.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
I have to turn down. They bring crumble cookies in after Dave and Jason every so often.
Mm-hmm.
I always have to turn them down. I can't
you can't turn them down
in the morning. I don't know.
Oh, you turn them down? I don't even get offered.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Sorry.
That's
Next time
weird.
I'll take one for you, Chris. That's my bad.
I love something sweet with my coffee. Like, love.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah. It's just, it's a bad habit though. So I'm like, oatmeal. Okay,
I think
fine. I'll
coffee
do
is
oatmeal.
a bad habit in general. I know. I'm
Deuce,
sorry.
be cool, you addict.
What would you rather have, coffee or
Just,
I don't know?
How about just
alcohol?
wake up? Like, natural vibes. Fight through it.
Stand by. I have a highlight come back. Chris, why did you play this? Oh, I was going to play a highlight, but man, you got me going with this song. This is my karaoke song.
Oh, no, it's not.
3, 6, 9, damn, you're fine. Order the socket to me one more time. Get low. Get low, get low.
So white.
To the window! To the wall!
What version is this?
To the sweat, drop down, Mike!
And falls.
And falls? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
So stupid.
Oh, how about Keegan Murray last night? It was amazing in New Orleans. It's not working. So.
Love that. Is it? Oh, I might have turned it off when I was doing the show. Was the button? There you go.
Keegan Murray, how you doing, man?
Keegan Murray ahead to Sabonis, kicks to Herter in the right corner. Can't get a shot. Out to Keegan. Steps into another three. There it is. Number 200 for the rookie this season. Only the 5th Sacramento King to score 200 three-pointers in a regular season in Kings history. 86-73. He's now got 18 in this ball game.
Keegan Murray was red hot in last night's Kings win over the Pelicans, knocking down 5 of his 7 threes in that third quarter. He was money. He was a flamethrower. Someone dropped the Murray flurry, and I kind of like that. It was a Murray flurry. Do you like that?
I don't love it.
Is it like a McFlurry?
Murray for 3, like a flurry of threes.
Oh,
Thank
my
you,
brain
Chris.
goes to the sweets.
I know.
Is it a McFlurry?
Where's the McFlurries at?
What about a Blizzard? Are we?
McFlurry?
Pretty significant. Over 200 threes. I love the stat Muse put out last night. There are 5 players this season in the NBA who have hit over 200 threes on 40+% from three-point land.
Who are those?
Steph Curry,
Okay.
Klay Thompson,
Okay.
Buddy Hield, Kevin Herter,
Be nice.
and Keegan Murray.
What? Two of those.
2 of those on the Kings, and one of them a rookie in the NBA. Keegan Murray, 200+ threes.
One of my favorite things about this is that Monty McNair knew that the Kings needed shooting. They knew that the Kings needed defense. They need wing depth. They needed things. But like, honestly, in this day and age in the league, we always talk about how that skill set, being able to have shooters that you can depend on, how important that is, not only for a guy like De'Aaron Fox who can penetrate in the paint and create and collapse the defense, but who can hit their shots on the outside. Two of those guys with that stat from the Sacramento Kings. I mean, he really answered so many of Sacramento's problems by adding shooting with a rookie and with a guy stealing a guy from Atlanta.
That was a huge problem immediately after they made the Tyrese Halliburton trade, they sacrificed all of their shooting. I mean, Tyrese and Buddy were their 2 best shooters last year.
Justin Holiday's on the phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's still there.
That call dropped. They had no shooting coming into this year before the additions of Kevin and Malik, and TD was probably their best shooter on the team. And yeah, for Monty to go back to the draft, for him to have, I don't know if you want to call it the foresight, the cojones, whatever, to decide that it's not a popular decision to take fit and need in the NBA draft, especially not at the number 4 spot. When you're at the number 4 spot, you're looking for talent, you're looking for upside, you're not looking for what's going to help your team immediately. And Monty recognized that this fills an immediate need for us. This is a guy who has an elite skill, which we desperately need. And Keegan Murray's a pretty good player too. There's still some things that we've seen this year that he can build on, and he's a legitimate talent. So I think huge credit to him for having the foresight to make that pick.
I felt like that draft narrative, the pre-draft narrative on that was completely overblown. Like, I understand if some people felt like Jane Ivy's ceiling was a little higher than Keegan Murray's, but I don't think the Kings of course they thought he could fit and help them now, but I think they legitimately think he's going to be the better player. It wasn't, and there are people in the NBA who felt that way. The Spurs were trying to move up to get Keegan Murray. The Pacers were trying to move up to get Keegan Murray. I think there are teams around the NBA that were like, wait, a 6'8" guy who's got the ability to shoot it, space the floor. He's not just a one-trick pony. He can defend a little bit. Okay, I love that. Coachable, great guy, wants to win. And that's the other thing I've loved so much about Keegan Murray's season is like, yeah, he's knocked down 200 threes on 400+ attempts. Have you ever watched a game like, oh, Keegan's really forcing it tonight?
Not a single time. No, not a single time I've ever thought Keegan is doing too much.
Yeah.
No, and it's incredible. It's definitely one of my favorite things. I talk about it all the time of just like him having a lot of the times, especially with rookies, they're doing too much. They're trying to prove themselves. They're trying to whatever. They're just trying to do too much. They don't understand that the NBA game isn't as free when, you can't just do what you've done your entire life. And Keegan, this entire season, has only done what the coaches have asked. When Mike Brown has called him out and asked him to do more, he's always responded, always done it with a smile, never, not necessarily with a smile, but not upset.
Not a frown.
Yeah, not a frown either. But he's been incredibly coachable all year. And I think that's any single coach would take that from a rookie. And the Keegan, it feels wrong even calling Keegan a rookie because he does not, nothing about his game and how he carries himself off the floor is anything like a rookie is. And granted, he's an older rookie, but even then you don't see guys carry themselves the way he does.
Dude, and just another moment to give some love to the front office. You think about, and I've said this before to you, Deuce, about how there's so many people who feel the pressure and go along with the narrative of what people want for your team, what people are saying is going to be the next it guy in the league. And when you believe in your talents as a scout, a basketball mind, and truly what your team needs, you're going to make the right choice and the right decision for your organization. And that's what I love about this, because there has been backlash so many times, even at the trade deadline. I mean, I definitely wasn't crapping on them, but I felt fear because I'm on the outside looking in, and I felt fear when I saw the Lakers get supposedly better. I mean, they did. Like they're better right now. And I saw other teams get Kevin Durant in the West, and and just how teams were evolving in the Western Conference.
Clippers made a ton of moves.
Exactly. And I mean, even with the Memphis Grizzlies, Luke Kennard, I just was like, wow. And the Kings got Kessler Edwards and $2 million, and really just taking a step back and going, oh, like he understood the assignment. He understood what it was going to take to keep this team together, the chemistry together, but to also make a small tweak.
It's been a lot of fun to watch, and it's just been one of those seasons you look back, and I know it's a Pacific Division, and people, it's divisions don't matter, but to be honest, when you haven't done something in 20 years, like it does matter, and you celebrate the wins like this. You celebrate these moments. I don't know that in 2003, when the Kings won the division last time, we were going, well, it's going to be another 20 years before they win another one. You think it's just going to keep going. Success. Oh yeah. When the Kings made the conference finals in 2002 and lost to the Lakers in Game 7, you're going, they'll get back there. Right. They never got back there. So enjoying these like milestones throughout a year, it's a big deal.
Pacific Division is tough too. I know nobody.
I know.
There's no point in talking about. I can't tell you who's in the Eastern centric division at all. But
the what division is that? The East centric.
East centric.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't tell you. I can't even tell you what the names of the divisions are clearly. But the Pacific Division has the Suns. It has the Warriors, who have been one of the best teams of this era, if not probably the best.
Yeah.
The Lakers, who have tradition of being great. The Clippers, who have turned things around this generation. Like there's a lot of really good teams in the West, and it does mean something, especially for the Kings, to go from where they were for the past 16, 17 years to then go to straight on top.
Well, and just one more thing too, Deuce, because I look at this situation, I would laugh because I'm like, I don't give a damn about division championship, like whatever. And then you realize when you're in it and you actually have a chance to win and be a division champion, you have obviously witnessed so much failure over the years. I get why this is such a cool moment, and I feel it all, and I am very accepting of all this.
It doesn't mean you don't want more either.
Sure.
Right? Of course, we all strive to see this team win a championship. We're not satisfied, but you can appreciate it. Also appreciate the fact that before the season, there were 250-1 odds to win the Pacific Division, and went up to as high as 400-1. It's pretty wild stuff. We got to take a break on the radio side. We always stay live on the YouTube page. You can go there, youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. It's Deuce and Mo with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports 1140. It's SactownSports.com. Whitey Gleason checking in on the personal text line, saying Keegan Murray. Do you like Keegan?
I do like Keegan. Yep.
Keegan Murray with a Murray flurry.
That's a little.
Keegan Murray with a flurry.
Sounds like Jerry Reynolds.
Is that a bad thing?
Just Jerry was always.
Is that a bad thing, Chris?
Jerry always had his Jerryisms. The hippity hop to the barbershop.
Speaking of, can you send me the link? I got to email it to Jerry Bear.
You're welcome.
Can you send me a link?
Yeah, link for streaming.
I need a link for combo and for Jerry, or is that just one link?
Jerry Bear. It's the same link.
Okay, cool.
What's up, Tin? Hey, Enforcer. What's going on? All gas, no brakes. I see Senior and Formo in there. What's up, Brad? Jersey Devs. Mary. What's up, JoJo? Tyler? Pike's Place. Scooter. Benjamin, Andy, Double A, Leandro. Make sure if you guys are in here, hit that thumbs up button.
You know what's crazy? I can't remember the exact year that it was, but when was the last time all California teams have been in the playoffs?
I don't think it's ever happened.
Right.
Because the Kings and Warriors have never been in the playoffs the same year.
Well, there you go.
They've never been good at the same time. It's
Yeah.
wild. Yeah. I mean, the fact that in the Pacific Division is, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right now? Or wait.
3, 4,
No.
5, 6, and 7. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It just makes it honestly a little
Yeah.
bit more
Thanks,
impressive
Chris.
too.
What's up, Eric? What's your question? Where can I get a Domas jersey today? I don't know. I mean,
Probably the team store.
Team store is definitely open at
Yeah.
Golden One Center. I know it's popping over there. People are trying to get Pacific Division
Yeah.
gear. Yeah. Morgan,
Sean.
you know your computer's on. Okay.
I'm trying to cut it really quick.
Chris had a good idea for a T-shirt.
I did.
Yeah.
He almost freely gave it to the Kings,
Oh,
and I had to stop that.
What is it?
I survived the playoff drought shirts.
Oh, love it.
That's it. Deuce looks very underwhelmed.
No, I was thinking about I
You can put it on
survived.
cups.
My grandma didn't.
Oh,
You want a specialty one for that?
She died.
That
this
can be on the
year.
back.
She
If
died.
you want, I survived the playoff drought. My grandma didn't.
It
right
is
on the
kind of
back.
wild though, because when the timing of her passing was when the Kings lost to the Memphis Grizzlies at home, and since then it's kind of been up on the up and up.
I don't know what you want me to
Well,
say. to
look,
that, Deuce.
sometimes
wait, are you saying since
I
your
just-
grandmother
I-
has
I-
died?
Are you saying that your
I'm
grandma
like-
is in some sort of six-man situation with the Kings?
Well, should we look at the Kings record since my grandma died?
Angels in the backcourt.
This is so dark, but I'm also on board. Like, what?
Have you ever seen the movie Six Man, Chris?
I have not.
Oh wow!
The Kings when the Kings fell to 0-4 when my grandma this season, up until she died, the Kings they were on pace not to win a game. She died.
I don't know what
and
you
look
want
at
me to say to this.
the Kings have won.
His grandma.
They have- no.
His grandma's a comedian, and she would love this.
Okay.
She's not a comedian, and also
She's funny.
she had her moment. She's not funny anymore. She's dead.
She had her.
40. They have won 48 games since my grandma died.
So, are you saying that the Kings would have 50 wins if your grandma died earlier?
Yeah, God, she could have died right before the season started.
Deuce, I'm not analyzing this. I'm not touching this.
It's.
King's curse.
I mean,
no.
it's funny.
It's
Whenever Deuce brings something dark like this out, I'm always on board 100%.
I just like
Yes.
I don't
And
I
it
can
usually
feel
makes
it.
Jason and Henry very
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
I can feel it being about to turn, and that's I don't want to be on when Deuce is like, dude, that's my grandma. Don't like you seriously
I
like
would
It won't get worse because we're on the radio, so it won't get
That's
worse
true,
than
right,
how
there
it
is a
could
certain
get.
line.
Sydney says, Deuce, your grandma's is doing this for you. She loved you so much.
Aw.
This is her gift to you.
That's
It's
cute.
a six-man situation.
Deuce believes once you're dead, though, you're just buried in a ground dead.
I heard that
so-
conversation
Oh, yeah.
yesterday.
This proves
I
that he's
would be
wrong.
Yeah.
Scares
I had
me.
to stop
like I
talking
have
about
like
it.
yeah,
I
I
can't
get like real anxiety.
I know.
thinking about,
There
like-
was a brief moment yesterday. I thought I was gonna have a panic attack.
I
while
was
talking
wondering
about
if
it. I
you
had
were going
stop.
to.
I
I
had to
definitely
stop.
was like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
with yeah,
I gotta
would-
stop talking about it now.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's fine.
Digital.com.
Sactown Sports.
I'm Chris Rilad with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings clinched the Pacific Division last night with their 121-103 win over the New Orleans Pelicans. The win also tied a franchise record with 25 road wins for the season, tying the 2001-2002 Sacramento Kings. For more on last night's Kings performance, check out our Kings insider Frankie Cardicelli's recap on SactownSports.com. Kings are back in action tonight. They'll be taking on the Dallas Mavericks. With the Kings win and the Grizzlies win, the Kings will clinch the third seed in the Western Conference. You can listen to tonight's game starting with game night at 4 o'clock and tip-off scheduled for 5:30 right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now back to Deuce and Mo.
Wow, is this from 2003?
It is.
Wow, songs from 2003. The last time the Kings won the Pacific Division. Pretty wild. I was looking this up too. Pacific Division winners over the years. Pacific Division winners over the years. The Kings, by the way, surpassed the Clippers yesterday for most Pacific Division titles. The Clippers have 2.
Could you imagine?
Imagine having 2 Pacific Division titles. Oh, hey, how's that, Steve Ballmer?
Mickey Mouse franchise.
Clown.
Come on. Jeez.
My favorite thing about being a Sacramento Kings fan and the come up is just being overly petty and stupid toward other franchises, because they can all show like, we got the rings. No. Oh yeah, but what about this year?
We're light years ahead.
Matter.
We're winning 40 guy was just like emblematic of all Kings fans.
Dude, total. What a time. Yeah. What an epic year.
And if you want to look deeper with the Pacific Division, since in the last 20 years, the team who has won the Pacific Division has advanced past the first round every time except one time. And you have to go back to the 2012-13 Clippers. If you go back to 93-94, the other team that did not get out of the first round who won the Pacific Division, the Seattle Supersonics, who lost to the 8 seed Denver Nuggets. 1 versus 8 matchup.
I think you got mixed up there. Was that like an ABA or like a minor league?
Oh,
talking about the Sonics. So the Sonics used to be a team who played in the NBA.
Yeah.
You're so stupid. Oh my God. Well, either way, does that stat alone give me hope that the Kings could get out of the first round?
And you're going to get this work in the postseason?
No, because this Western Conference is not like anything I feel like we've ever seen before. And I say that, you look at each team, half a game behind this, half a game over here. It is so smushed together, and I'm sure.
So you're saying it means nothing. What I just referenced, the fact in the last 20 years, only one of the teams have not advanced past the first round, the Clippers. You're saying that doesn't matter. I'm crumbling it up and throwing it away.
I think it gives me some hope, but at the same time, it
doesn't matter.
It just, you look at this Western Conference and you're like, this is also different. Like, when was the last time all these teams were bunched up like this?
Right.
I don't know the answer. I'm not going to do the work.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're completely right. It is a phenomenal stat. But yeah, unfortunately, with just how the West is shaping up this year, like the 2-7 matchup is usually one that is between two completely different teams. Usually the 2 seed is really good and the 7 seed just barely squeezes in because they, aren't a good team. And this season, it feels like that the bottom of the Western Conference is all just teams that had to deal with injuries all year and are now kind of getting healthy at the right time.
So what stat do you put more stock in? This stat from the last 20 years, all but one have advanced past the first round, or the Deuce's grandma curse? My grandma, the Kings were 0-4 this season.
Okay.
They lost to the Grizzlies for that 4th loss to start 0-4.
Okay.
She died that night.
Oh, God. Okay.
They've won 48 games since then.
So she sacrificed herself.
Or was she kind of holding them back in a way? What thoughts do you put, Chris?
I would say that the curse of your grandmother is probably the more legitimate stat.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if I had to.
So
Grandma Judy.
You're happy she died. So if I would have said before the season, if I would have said before the season that the Kings would make the playoffs and win the division, but Deuce's grandma would have to die, you'd be like,
I would say better him than me.
You would take it.
Yeah. If she was,
you would take it.
If she was down,
say,
if she was down, like, I lived a good life, whatever.
She was down.
I know. I was kind of.
She was on board.
See you guys. I'm good.
You laugh so you
I'm
don't
sure
cry.
she
Rest
just
in
is
peace,
glad
Judy.
that you're happy.
Yeah.
She's glad that her sacrifice has led to a lot of happiness for you.
My favorite thing is that we're calling her old age and health problems sacrifice. I love this so much. Yes, this is why she had to go.
Yep.
Thank you, Grandma Judy, for
Appreciate
giving
it.
yourself up and
Hang a
allowing
banner.
the King. Her name needs to be on the bottom corner of that banner.
When they get back to going One Center Friday, I want to thank you, Judy chant. Thank you,
Judy.
Everyone's like, fans are going, what is Mark Jones on the broadcast? I'm not sure why the Kings fans are chanting, thank you, Judy. Unclear who Judy is at the moment.
Let's make it happen.
Kings and Mavericks tonight. I think I mentioned this. I can't remember if I
You
mentioned
did.
it during the break.
No, on air.
It was on air.
Mhm.
Do you think the Kings? Are you cool if the Kings sit players tonight? Potentially, they're 6.5-point dogs right now, and it sounds like Luka and Kyrie are probable.
Yeah. It's not the worst thing if they do, but I personally would rather see them play it out. I would like to see them play all the way through Friday. I think Sunday's game against the Nuggets will kind of be both teams waving the white flag, and there's not really much at stake there. But I want to see the Kings win tonight. I want to see them again play a team that has playoff aspirations and will have a certain level of energy. I want to see how they play against them, and I want to see the Warriors come in a very important game for them. I want to see the Kings try and get 50 wins and send a message to Golden State. Be like, Draymond, we heard you talking. We heard you want to play us. Well, we're going to show you what playing us means.
And then he's going to be like, okay, I'll just see you in the playoffs and beat you.
That's very fair. If you just send a message,
Yeah.
I just think
I like it.
I think
like
a
it.
big part of these last games is just mentality. I just want these guys to be in the mentality of, you guys are good. You don't want to, if you sit the rest of these games, you don't want to like lose 4 of your last 5 heading into the postseason. Just not, you want your success to feel as recent as possible.
Well, and to be honest, the number 2 seed is still up for
Still up for
grabs, as
grabs.
EJ
It's
in the
there.
chat was saying on YouTube.
It's there.
Memphis plays New Orleans tonight.
They do.
Okay.
Second half back-to-back for both teams. I don't know. Pelicans win that game. The Kings beat the Mavs tonight.
Yep.
The Kings are a game out of number 2. And if they were able to tie them at the end of the season, I know it's unlikely. The Kings have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So the Kings could get the number 2 seed. It's still there, and I think you have to play for it.
They
Yeah.
have New Orleans, Milwaukee, and OKC left.
And it's so tough to know what teams are going to do. Like, does Milwaukee sit there?
Exactly.
Guys, all that. And the Kings have, of course, tonight against Dallas, home Friday night against the Golden State Warriors, and their final game of the year against the Denver Nuggets,
At like 12:30.
12:30. All teams, by the way, playing early at the same time, pretty much. By the way, what the hell is up with the Denver Nuggets? I think Jokic officially lost in the MVP race after
Last night.
they've had too many bad losses. They lost to the Rockets last night. After the game, Michael Malone called out his team in a big way, Morgan.
What did he say?
He says, if that's how we're going to play, we'll be out in the first round.
Oh.
When we don't do our jobs, there's accountability. And I speak the truth. I just called our team soft, and I dared someone to challenge me. No one did, because we as a group were soft tonight. I'm not saying we are soft, but tonight we were.
Damn. Well, it's interesting. He sounds like our Mike, who just was talking about the Kings and their mentality being a soft mentality and it needing to change. And yeah, I like when these coaches are calling out their teammates, but that he's not just saying it to say it. Like there's substance there. There's something else that he is feeling from his squad that he knows that they're capable of so much more. Now, I know Jamal Murray went down early on in that game, ended up only playing 9 minutes, but then you look at Jokic's numbers too, 25 minutes and was missing everything from deep, and just not a big game from him, and losing to the Houston Rockets down the stretch while you're playing your guys.
Not great.
It's a bad
Not
loss.
good.
It's a bad loss.
Not great.
One update, Tim McMahon over at ESPN is reporting that the Grizzlies will likely rest John Morant and Luke Kennard tonight against the Pelicans, although Tim says Memphis has a firm grip on the West number 2 seed, so it makes sense. They do not. They do not have a firm grip.
Kings have the tiebreaker as well.
You should tweet him and let him know.
Tim, you're wrong. I mean, it's unlikely. I mean, the odds are Memphis can still close it out, but it can get tight tonight.
Do you think that's like King's disrespect right there? He's like, oh, they have a
I think it's just not paying attention to what's happening. So.
Whatever.
Former friend of the show, Michael Malone, right? Michael Malone.
Michael Malone.
Malone?
Yes, former. Well,
He's still a friend.
he's still
I mean,
a friend.
yeah, but just hasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's been replaced by Mike Brown as my favorite.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's Adelman, Mike Brown, Malone.
Yeah.
There was a guy, a Kings fan, that got Mike Brown tattooed on his body.
I saw.
Oh, are you kidding me? I would do that in a heartbeat. Like, I was like, why did I not think of that? Like, I have to get.
Okay.
You're going to get a tattoo, right?
Yeah, but should I get Mike Brown's face
Morgan
instead
as well.
of?
No,
oh my God,
you
that'd be
should
so
do both.
cute.
You have to do that, but yeah, get Mike Brown, Morgan. Definitely.
I'm not going to do both. I have.
Funny how that works.
What-
Interesting.
Don't.
I literally
If the
doing
Kings
a
win
lion.
the NBA championship, will you get Mike Brown tattooed on your
I
body?
should just say yes.
Just say yes.
Um,
Just say yes. What's wrong? Just say yes.
well, I'd have to
1,
see,
2, 3. Yes.
No, I had to see if my dainty little tattoo artist could do that small somewhere.
No, but wear it with pride. They're the champs.
I would wear it with pride. I'm getting it tatted on my body.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
So is that a yes?
I had to check with my tattoo
Okay,
artist.
so if the Kings don't win the championship, we broke it. The Kings made the playoffs with Deuce's grandma's curse being lifted, but now the Morgan tattoo curse.
There is no curse there, sweetheart.
All right, coming up next, we're going to take a trip down memory lane. And at noon, we've got Jerry Reynolds stopping by. It's Deuce and Mo with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports 1140 and SactownSports.com.
The Sacramento.
Do you remember the 20 years ago? I just would never get a tattoo like that. I just don't understand.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, to pay off a bet. You said you're going to do it. You got to do it. That's why.
I don't think you do. I don't think you have to.
Well, so you're just a person that says things and doesn't pay off
I
your
just
bets.
wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't make that bet.
Cal in the chat says they do have a firm grip, the Grizzlies. They are playing well and can win and need no help. No,
Sure, they can.
I mean, they could also lose. I mean, it's just a firm grip. They don't have it clinched. Like, literally, they don't. If the Kings win tonight and the Grizzlies lose, it's a 1-game lead.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have to win. I mean, yeah. But if they're tied at the end of the year, the Kings have the number 2 spot. So that's not a firm grip. A firm grip would be like, yeah, it's kind of out of reach for Sacramento. Yeah. And it's not completely out.
Kings have to win 2 of their last 3. Memphis have to lose 2 of their last 3.
Deuce, are you drinking a Zip Fizz? I drink those all the time. I have no idea what a Zip Fizz is.
I was just about to ask that.
I am drinking an Americano, iced Americano.
A Zip Fizz. How long have you been drinking coffee for, Deuce? Like pretty much as long as you can remember?
Well, when I started working in the morning, back in the Rise guys, back in the day, but that wasn't even coffee. That was like Red Bulls. You remember Go Girls?
Yeah.
We used to get them free at the station all the time. Red Bulls, Go Girls, 5 Hour Energy. Then I went to like coffee, but it was like, it was really like milk and sugar with like a little coffee. And then I started just.
Can you do it black now?
That's all I do.
Yeah.
I don't put anything in my coffee.
I've actually given it up.
Chris has tried. Have you actually given it? Because I know you tried to.
Like I've had like a cup here or there.
Yeah.
But basically,
couple relapses. Yeah.
Not relapse. Just like I want it. It's not. It's one of those things of just like.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's
just don't do it like you were.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I don't like that. At times, I feel like I need it.
Yeah, I think that's the
year.
problem. I feel like people get really addicted to coffee and don't recognize it and don't try it.
When I'm in a good spot where I'm getting enough rest and working out, eating well for the most part, I like coffee. It's not now at all. Like right now, I'm like, I need this to function.
Right.
But I enjoy waking up and like having a nice cup, coffee, espresso, whatever.
No, my girlfriend loves coffee and is always like, it's like a ritualistic like experience.
It's fun.
Yeah. Well, once it gets to the point of just like you need it to function, like you need it to feel normal. That's just like, okay, you've got to step back for a
think
bit.
a lot of people feel that way. Like they wake up and they're
I've had
like,
too much
I haven't
today.
had my coffee.
I've had too much today, to be honest. I had.
How many have you? It's not even 12 o'clock.
I had one this morning.
Okay.
At like 7.
Uh-huh.
And then I had another one at like 8:30, and then I picked this one up on the way in. But I just had it at home. I got one of those Nespresso machines.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Game changer
for sure. Luka and Kyrie playing tonight? Yes, it sounds that way.
Probably.
Tom has a great point. LA's definitely going to win tonight. That's funny.
See what you did there.
Hey, Morgan.
We missed a minute.
How was your Duke?
I was talking to Simone, but I mean, what? How is your Duke? Like, Jesus, Deuce! Oh my God! Something else.
Definitely.
My problem with getting the tattoo, by the way, is just like
I
feel like it's got to be quality. Like you also like
it's got to be quality on my deal or no end.
Like
on my end or no deal. Oh, I hate that I messed that up.
I just feel like a lot of people, like, will go to your Joe Schmo tattoo artist to get like a very complex. My friend has a Peja tattoo on his leg, and it's not ideal.
It's definitely not, but that's what kind of makes it cool and funny.
Let me see it.
It's not meant to be funny. Let me tell you.
It's not meant to be funny.
You can. There's 3.
So even the tattoo artist that I'm going to, like,
it's not his face. Okay, I need to
God.
see it now.
Oh God, that is so
You're so mean.
No, it's not meant to be funny. That's the thing. If it's meant to be funny, it's great.
Come here, Chris. I'll go in there, Chris.
Oh
Just show me after when we're done.
Like, there's mine, right? Easy.
Peasy.
Yeah, easy.
Like, you could be the worst tattoo, but I'm going to a very.
So that's the thing is like with a bad tattoo, you're going to go to a good artist
Yes.
to properly replicate.
Correct.
That makes sense.
Right.
But also be prepared for questions.
We've already
Or
talked.
will it be like so intentionally
Stand by.
bad?
Intentionally.
Oh man, this music. Kings win.
So the Pelicans scare a temper within bounds. The final seconds will tick away, and the Sacramento Kings have just won a Pacific Division championship for the third time in their now 38-year history in Sacramento. The victory tonight of 121-103 clinches the Pacific Division title. It also gives the Kings their 25th road win of the year, which equals an all-time Sacramento Kings best. Good things happening here with 3 games yet to go in this season. 121-103. The Kings get the victory.
Get the victory. Big time stuff from the Sacramento Kings. The G-Man on the call. And that music in the background. Missy Elliott talking about like that song does
Legend.
ages perfectly.
Icon. Everything. I mean, like almost all of her songs age perfectly. Like timeless. Just absolutely iconic.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to 2003. The last time the Kings won the division was in 2003.
Okay.
Top movies from April 2003. April 2003 top movies.
Okay, 2003. So I'm just going into. Okay, I'm gonna go with
I don't think you're gonna get any of these, but it's okay.
Love Actually.
No.
Was that after? I think that was a little after. Okay, let's go with America's Sweetheart.
No.
Do you even know what that is?
No, but that was not 2003, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one with Julia Roberts and
I only knew this because I did some preliminary research, but Lord of the Rings is on there. Right?
Yeah, not in April 2003. I went specific, not just a big
Oh, you went
2003.
April.
I said April 2003. Just let me repeat it. April 2003.
Very
How are we
unaware
supposed
of
to
when
know?
Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings dropped that year.
So
Was
please-
it a summer matinee?
So top movies.
Can you give us the genre?
yeah, can we
Yeah.
get some hints here? Like
There's a comedy, a thriller, and a kids movie.
American Pie
Ooh.
2.
a thriller
Great guess.
and a kids movie. We will go
Scream.
Scary movie?
No.
Any of the scary movies?
Uh,
Scary movie 2,
the number one movie, April 2003, was Anger Management. Remember
Oh.
that with Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson?
I went to the movie theaters to see
Yeah.
that movie.
That was 2003.
That was
Okay.
2003.
Wow.
I remember seeing the movie. I don't remember much about it.
I don't remember.
Was it a
anything about
letdown?
Well, the big thing from it is the GIF.
What's the
The
gift?
gift.
The
of
Jack,
Jack
Nicholson,
Nicholson,
where he's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Number 2, a movie that probably doesn't age well at all, Phone Booth. Remember Phone Booth?
Is that where you couldn't
He
leave?
got trapped in the phone booth.
Yeah. Those,
The
tra-
whole movie is at the phone booth.
those trailers used to terrify me as a kid. I was like, this guy's really just like
You said-
stuck in there.
Wow. Okay.
Phone Booth. You remember that
Just
movie?
had a sniper on. Doesn't he like get sniped? Isn't
Yeah.
that how he
Yeah,
leaves?
yeah.
He like is just like, forget it. I'm just gonna get
Colin
sniped and try and
Farrell.
survive.
Forrest Whitaker was in that one. Okay.
And number 3, Holes.
Oh, great film.
Ba-ka-dum,
That's cinema
house.
right there. That
That's
is
cinema.
that
That's a good
song.
movie.
Come on. I
The
had no
Chris
respect 'cause
the
I'm a
Chris and
movie
Company show are big Shia LaBeouf stands.
fan. Yeah.
Really?
Got my
Really?
shovel, shoes full of sand.
Oh, you didn't
Check
watch
out the
Even
tag, my
Stevens?
name's
Wait,
Caveman.
Shia LaBeouf is not a good person.
Oh
though.
no! But he's Sacramento
he was
legend.
Even
They shot
Stevens.
Just
Even
like-
Stevens and Sack. A lot of shots at the fort. You guys didn't know? Oh, come on.
Wow.
I loved Even
Stevens,
Stevens.
shot in Sacramento. A lot
I don't
of
think it was
shots at
shot in
Florida.
Sacramento, but
Yeah.
it takes place in Sacramento.
No, they have some shots in Florida.
They had some B-roll shots. If they probably paid some guy at like ABC 10 to go shoot.
We got to
and they
take what we
sent
can
him
get,
over.
man. We got to take what we can get.
We went to the moon in 1969, now 1968, but a year later.
What was
Whatever.
that on Disney Channel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Must have been nice to have that as a kid.
I didn't. My friend had it actually.
We had rabbit ears.
Okay, we did too.
We would have a remote. Turn the channel, David. Smack.
We had that My 58 or whatever it was at the time. We had Power Rangers on the weekend with cable. But yeah, my friends had Disney. So.
Top songs in 2003. I had to go broad with that.
Yeah, this
I had
is
to
a good
go
one.
broad with that. I didn't find April 2003.
April.
Actually, I think I did. Yeah, it was April 2003.
Definitely some Lil Wayne, some Eminem in there for sure.
The Eminem did not make
Whoa,
this
50
top
Cent?
5. 50 Cent makes it
Multiple
not
times?
once, but
in
twice.
the club, 21 Questions.
Boom, boom,
Wow.
Yeah, that was the time.
boom. Yep, yep.
Yeah, I can't.
The other guy on there, R. Kelly.
Ooh, Step in the Name of Love.
No, Ignition.
Ignition.
We don't like
Ignition,
him.
Come on.
You can't listen to that anymore, man. You
Why? Okay, let's not do this, but let's do this. Why is R. Kelly not okay? Why is Michael Jackson okay?
He's
I'm
not.
just saying,
Michael
I'm
Jackson
just saying,
is
I'm
not
just
okay.
saying, I'm just saying.
Michael Jackson's not okay.
People-
The people that think
1,000%
Yeah.
of
Is
people
there some
will argue
controversy
differently.
about that? Like,
it's no.
I don't want to speak on Michael because I don't know enough about it.
Oh,
How about that?
I do.
Here's what I do know.
I don't think anybody knows.
Here's
about
what I
any
do
of it.
know. R. Kelly, I know about.
Here's what I do know
He's
about.
found
should
guilty
watch-
by a court of law.
Stop.
There's a
We're not
great
doing this.
HBO
We're not- I've
documentary.
seen
Believe the
it.
victims. Believe the victims.
Okay, we don't need to do this. We don't need to do this.
Sorry, this is my
Way to go,
fault.
Chris.
This is definitely my fault.
Jeez.
I said we shouldn't do it.
Top songs 2003, 50 Cent, R. Kelly, Ignition, Sean Paul.
Shawnee Paul.
Get busy?
Is
Get
that the
busy.
song?
No,
I would
no,
have get
no.
temperature to shelter you from
No,
the
that was
storm.
that's
That's
not
later,
good.
probably.
Yeah, that was later.
I don't know what.
I don't know that
that
song.
song, though.
No.
Not
You guys
mine.
don't remember Get Busy? Get Busy. Dun, 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 dun.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Chris, play Get Busy. They know this. It's honestly ridiculous.
But
that
you know what I
guys-
love?
I suck at doing it. I know. Shut up.
Deuce.
I'm sorry. You
Get
guys.
Busy.
This plays.
Da, 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 da,
Chris,
da.
is this so ridiculous that they don't remember Get Busy?
I don't know. Get busy.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I'll
Okay,
have to play it in my
wait.
ear.
No, play it. He's gonna play it now.
Deuce
You
trying
know.
to do it though is way better.
Just have to wait for this 15-second
Now,
commercial.
Skip the
to-
ad. Skip
I'm
the
trying.
YouTube ad.
It's one of the ones where you can't skip
Now,
it.
Good job, Sean
there'll
Paul.
be two. Shawnee Paul.
Non-skippable.
Get Busy was huge. It was obviously it was a monster hit. Yeah, thank you.
I just heard it
Chris.
say, yeah.
Yeah.
We're all stupid. We're all idiots.
Thank you. Can't wait. Play it, Chris.
Can't
I
wait.
hear it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's all.
Are you kidding?
That's how you doing it though.
I didn't do the beginning of it.
This is the only part. Yeah.
Really?
Sexy ladies go forward up.
This was better than the other Sean Paul song. It's not even close.
This is better.
This is a
better
great
song.
song.
Who knows how long this we can play this?
All right. The next one, top songs from the last time the Kings were winning the division in 2003. 3 Doors Down, When I'm Gone. Yeah. And then 50 Cent, 21 Questions. Also, Apple launched iTunes in 2003, which is kind of crazy. That's when they launched
Whoa.
iTunes. No iPhones. At the
Isn't it
time.
crazy? Like, isn't it crazy? I was talking to Frank about it. How like iTunes used to be mandatory. Like there was iTunes was the hub. Like you would spend just how people spend so much time on the internet.
So much
like
money.
you would just spend hours on iTunes looking for songs, debating like, am I gonna buy this album? Should I just buy the
Were you-
song?
Were you too
Illegally
early
download.
for like
Illegally
Napster and
I destroyed my parents' computer.
Oh, man.
BearShare, LimeWire,
LimeWire.
FrostWire.
Yeah.
Come on. Destroyed. My parents' computer was
1 million pop-ups
Yeah.
every time you turned it on.
Last one, average price of gas in California, April 20,
Oh, I don't even want to know
2003.
this.
April 2003, average
67 cents.
I'm gonna guess $3.05.
I'm going to say
I'm
$3.32.
gonna say under $3.
$2.09 in April
No.
2003 in California.
What
You're
a
probably
time.
still complaining.
Oh, of course.
Gas prices these days.
$2? Are you kidding me? I remember back in my when Jerry, when they, I think Jerry was part of the crew that first discovered gas. But when they got, I mean, it was a couple pennies a gallon. You know,
Isn't that's just wild.
It was
So
like
wild.
$6 a gallon this summer or last summer.
Yeah. That's like, I mean,
Which was
what's minimum wage
ridiculous.
in
I can tell you
California?
exactly what
So
it is.
in 2003, minimum wage was $5.15 in the nation. Now, I mean, it's been so long, it's all the way up to $7.25.
but then you have to go by the state. minimum
No, for
wage,
sure,
so,
but
yeah.
that's still like insane. Insane.
Yeah, paying somebody $5 for an hour of work is
Is
not okay.
oh, what the
I
world
remember,
gets
I
away
remember
with.
Can you
my
imagine?
mom in the 90s was getting paid like $4.75 an hour to work at Del Taco.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah.
Crazy. Well, hey, good time. A fun trip down memory lane.
was
You
fun.
know,
That was
talking
fun.
about the price of gas, issues with R. Kelly and Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Just exactly how I thought this would go when we reflect back on the last time the Kings won the division before last night. Chris, thanks for coming out, and you will be back again tomorrow. 10 a.m. with his show.
Morgan's leaving us.
That's right. Morgan's off tomorrow, so it's Chris from
Chris,
10
you
to
know
2.
what time it is.
No Morgan, dude show.
Hell yeah. No Morgan Dude show coming up 10 to 2 tomorrow. Coming up next, though, the one and only Jerry Reynolds. That's straight ahead. Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. Oh, man.
I got the right temperature. Good job, Chris.
That was
And
fun.
Chris.
Oh, thank you.
2 hours to go. Hey, if you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up. Let's get to over 100. Todd, I thought this was a Kings show. I'm so confused. We do a sports show, but we were relating back to the Kings. You only want serious Kings talk. Todd Packer.
Oh, Todd.
What's up, TJK? B. Perry says, living in Austin, it feels incredible that all my friends are congratulating me on our season. Feels like we've all earned this. We had some guy call us from Mississippi last night, and
That's crazy.
he just randomly picked the Kings as a team like 14 years ago, and he stuck by him. He went to the game last night, and he was just talking about how cool it is, and it's just so random to be in Mississippi and be like, I'm going to be a Kings fan.
Right.
And he stuck with them.
Yeah.
And he's seeing them in the playoffs.
It's all those people. I mean, I know there's like fans in London, there's fans, and we have a ton of Australian fans too. Like it's crazy. Like I can't imagine not being in town and supporting this team through all of those bad years. Just, I mean this as nicely as I can, but why? Like, why would you do that to yourself? Just pick somebody else. Like we kind of have to. It's kind of like their family for us. It's like, we have to support them. We're from here, but if you're not from here, you don't live here. Enjoy basketball. Like,
but guess what? It worked out.
It worked out. Oh yeah, it's gonna pay off. We're gonna really appreciate all the success that we have. I mean, when you suck for 16 years,
hell yeah.
Benjamin Deuce, are you doing any haircut bets this year? Kings get out of the first round. You dye your hair purple. No, I'm not going to do any bets this year. I mean, I don't have anything. I can't force it.
If they win a championship.
Yeah. If they won a championship. Pierce my belly button.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Oh
I would
my
never do
God.
that. That would hurt too
Don't
bad.
worry. I'll cut it so that's what you said.
No, that would hurt so bad.
Dave Bautista had a belly button ring.
It doesn't hurt.
And he's got the little tattoo around his belly button.
So which would you rather have?
Great question.
Oh,
I'd make my belly button to a little basketball.
So that's what you're doing if the Kings win a championship?
No, Chris, we're not getting any more tattoos.
Steve,
Anymore.
Do you have any idea what time game 1 will be on April 15th? No, we
Probably
don't
like
know.
2 in the afternoon.
You think?
I don't know about that because you have the East games too. TJK, Deuce, can you do CNN Deuce? You mean John King? I don't have a CNN Deuce. John King. I should do John King playoff scenarios.
There's a path.
would be great.
Would be great. Jer Bear joining us soon.
You know, he's got to figure out how to do it, you know. Let's see here.
Figure out how to do it.
I'll be right back.
Bye. It's tinkle time. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Okay, I need to play this real quick. Drew's joining you guys at 12.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's you and Deuce. Drew's joining you at 12. That's what I forgot to zoom in. I'm making sure my web access, dude. So I'm like, I had to pre-record. And then I was gonna do you guys, I think you guys should get one more guest for the last hour, just to make it easy. I don't know who.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? We have Brendan the next day.
Brendan and Frankie's gonna be on Friday.
Yeah.
Sactown Sports.
I'm Chris Verlad with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings clinched the Pacific Division last night with their 121-103 win over the New Orleans Pelicans. The win also tied a franchise record with 25 road wins for the season, tying the 2001-2002 Sacramento Kings. For more on last night's Kings performance, check out our Kings insider Frankie Cardoselli's recap on SactownSports.com. The Kings are back in action tonight. They'll be taking on the Dallas Mavericks. With the Kings win and the Grizzlies win, the Kings will clinch the third seed in the Western Conference. You can listen to tonight's game starting with game night at 4 and tip-off schedule for 5:30 right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now back to Deuce and Mo.
And if you want love, you'll make it. Swim in a deep sea.
I'm going to go ahead and guess Morgan was listening to this in 2003. I can tell you I was not.
Really?
John Mayer is one of the greatest guitar players of all time.
Oh my God, I was in such a variety of music. I listened to everything from like Dashboard Confessionals to Bone Thugs and Harmony to, I mean, you name it, mainstream. I was listening to it. So yes, John Mayer, heart throb.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would like it now, but not back in 2003. I was not listening to that. We're expected to have Jerry Reynolds coming up in a few minutes. I should text him and say, hey, I did send you the link.
Hey, Jer, do you know how to do dish?
I emailed you the link. Let me know.
Oh, my God. What a sweet man.
In the YouTube chat, by the way, someone was mentioning Scooter was like, we need to get a Mo's Minute at 11:40 today.
You know,
I think we were just laughing too hard.
Yeah.
Which is good in a way. That is kind of a Mo's Minute where you release some laughter. And that releases some good energy, right?
It's true. It's true. If you're laughing, if you're breathing, if you're stretching, all those things are good for you at 11:40 every single day. I mean, it's interesting. I did start to stretch today for the first time in like 3 weeks, just like randomly. And I was like, oh my God, my body needed
I haven't
that.
stretched since October 2nd.
No, probably like January.
I stretched?
Yeah.
Maybe January.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's stretching is so good.
It's just so, and that's why like even sometimes when we're sitting here for 3 hours, we should just like have a moment, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Maybe.
it's easy to do. Not maybe.
I'm curious to get Kings fans' thoughts today, too. You guys can hit us up. We always reference the YouTube chat. We appreciate you guys being there in the chat at youtube.com/SactownSports1140. But you could also call us at 916-339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140. We're supposed to have Jerry Reynolds on now, but I haven't heard anything back from Mr. Jer Bear. So
Aww.
no, he had me.
If he doesn't join us today,
No, he's going to join us, but
if he doesn't join us, no, I'm kidding.
So
Yeah.
it says that he's on, but it says like device not connecting. So I don't know if you need to tell him like, hey, yeah, accept the camera.
Do you have his phone number?
Yes.
I mean,
Why don't we just give him a jingle on air and we should figure it out on air? I think that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, that's not fun
Okay.
at all.
Got it. You got it. Sorry.
Kings win the division last night. They play the Dallas Mavericks tonight. It sounds like Luka is playing. Same with Kyrie. But Vegas has them. The Kings as 6.5 point underdogs in this game, which I don't know. Sometimes you see those numbers and you go, well, maybe, just maybe there is something that they know that the Kings could be resting people. And Chris, maybe see if you can walk him through it. If not, we can just do it on the phone.
I wouldn't be surprised because obviously it's the second night of a back-to-back. And let's see. I mean, what were some of the minutes? Like you look at last night, you had Harrison Barnes 31, Keegan Murray 35, Sabonis 32, Herter 22.
It's not bad,
Fox
to be honest.
30.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. It really isn't that bad. And I mean, that goes to show like how they took care of business early, which is great to see. Man, Malik Monk, 23 minutes off the bench, and just incredible job in that first half. What he did in like his first 11 minutes, he had 14 points, 3 assists.
I'm glad you brought him up because they missed him in that Spurs game. And
Yeah.
God, man, what he brings to the table. I know sometimes it's chaotic, But I think when Malik Monk's at his best, he's getting guys involved. He's attacking the paint. He's getting his shot for sure. And I just love the energy he provides. I've referenced this before, but that two-man game he's got with Sabonis has become lethal. And it's drawn so much attention. You see it, sometimes it leads to a Sabonis bucket. Sometimes it leads to a three-pointer by someone else. And sometimes it leads to a tremendous finish at the rim by Malik Monk. He has been crucial for this team. And that's what's great is you were talking about the minutes last night.
Yeah.
Kevin Huerter played 21 minutes last night. They went with Davion. They went with Malik Monk. And it doesn't seem like there's an issue. They have a culture at the moment where everyone's kind of bought in. Alex Len sat for most of the year.
Dude.
And now he's like, hey, is he going to be in the playoff rotation? Depending on the matchup, he probably is going to be.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that because obviously that was something that we talked about the Kings were missing was girth. And I feel like Alex Len, though, has done a fantastic job of probably just improving and showing the coaches that they can trust him throughout the season.
Well, let's bring on one of our favorite people. He's going to join us on the phone today. His name is in the rafters at Golden Once. They're next to Pacific Division banners, and we should be adding another one because the Kings win the division last night. He is a legend. He's broadcasted. He's been a GM, a coach, and just a great guy. The one and only Jerry Reynolds. Hey Jerry.
Well, welcome to just really enjoying getting to talk to you young Jedis. But here's the thing. This link you sent me, Deucer, it just ain't working. I don't know what the deal is. I think it's, I just think probably Morgan had something to do with it.
Yeah. I'm sure.
And I tried everything. As you know, I'm really a technical wizard. And but I was telling the young man that called, I said, well, I've used this same iPad for Restream and Zoom and never had any trouble for about 100 times. So I don't know what it is.
It's all good. Good
thing. Anyway,
we have the phone, and
all good.
I'm going to say it might have been Morgan's fault. She's been taking shots at you today, Jerry. She said something earlier. She said, "Yeah, it was crazy. The last time the Kings won the division, Jerry was in his early 80s," and I was like,
Jerry,
wow,
I did not guess. I guessed your age was 57 the last time that the Kings had won the Pacific Division, and it turns out that you were 59. Deuce guessed that you were 80.
That's not. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't bother me either way. I have figured out that old age is basically it's just your warranty starting to run out.
Well, I think you got a long time left with your warranty. Jerry, this year's been crazy, and I don't think anyone really anticipated it. The Kings win a division for the first time since 2003. That's significant. They're back in the playoffs for the first time since 2006. What has made this year special from your viewpoint?
Well, I think it's as simple as I really like watching them play. I mean, it's a fun team. And I thought, early in the year, and I saw some of it last year, I thought when this trade was made, before they kind of shut Fox and Sabonis down, I thought you could see the potential. But this team is just so unselfish. And obviously they can score the ball. They basically scored every night. Obviously don't stop people from scoring every night too. That's also true. But I just really enjoy them. I haven't looked forward to games, for years. I'm kind of like a kid. I get my recliner and get my popcorn and get ready for the game to start. It's been a blast, and they're a good team. It's a team, basically it's in progress. It's they're not a finished product by any means, but boy, they're a blast. I just can't wait for them to start the playoffs.
Jerry, obviously you've been around, so many different teams, championship teams when it comes to the WNBA. You've been around teams within the Kings organization that went deep into the playoffs. You've been around winning, but you've been around fun teams as well. When you look at this team right now and you look at the way that maybe Mike Brown has really established a culture, a standard with these guys, and everyone trusts one another. Have you ever seen that happen before in your time, happen in the first year that a head coach is within an organization and it leading and translating to success on the floor as well?
Actually, yes. The first year Rick Adelman came.
Wow.
People forget. I mean, he's very similar. I mean, similar and different, but, the Kings were just at a terrible low point, had not been in the playoffs for just a few years, but expectations had gotten low, and the team had lost 19 of the last 20, and they changed coaches. Blade came as a free agent. The trade for Weber was made. Jay Will and Peja came as rookies, and the team, went 27 and 23 in a lockout shortened season, and then had the great playoff series with Utah. And to me, that was, and it was clear as it was one of those teams like this one. I mean, it was so much fun. Of course, Jay Will, it was ESPN highlights every night. And I think there's a lot of the same things. And I mean, not that they got there differently, but the chemistry on the team was great. The coaching was very creative, and certainly Rick wasn't as good in the media as Coach Brown, but they're both great coaches, and the players like playing for him. So, yeah, I'm old enough to remember another example, by the way. So, and I think, and we saw what happened there each year. They got better. I always say you can't know what you need to do to get better till you get in the playoffs. And I'd like to be wrong. I'd like to see this team roll right through to the championship. But, I'm not going to be disappointed if they don't make the World Championship first year in the playoffs. I think there's just a lot of good times ahead.
Yeah, and I know you liked Sabonis before the trade, but now seeing him in a role where, he's a big-time facilitator, kind of that offensive engine, what maybe has surprised you about Sabonis this season?
I think there's a couple of things. I watched him a lot because I just enjoyed watching him play with the Pacers, and I know a lot of people will say, well, boys, he's doing things for the Kings he didn't do with the Pacers. That's not true. He averaged 20 points a game there and 12 rebounds. I mean, for the Pacers. So, he's doing, the difference is his stamina is just amazing. I've never seen a big run the floor like he does, constantly play hard on every play. It's different here where he's playing mostly center, where in Indiana played a little center and forward, and certainly he's better this way. Then the other thing is, as good as he is in many areas, I've never seen a big set so many screens and so many good screens. He's just off the charts. Kings have never had anybody a big that does those things so well, so consistently.
What makes his screens so special and stand out to you?
That they're actual screens.
Yeah.
Mo.
Fundamentals, right? Like he seeks them out.
They actually screen somebody. Well, the thing about screens, and a lot of big guys are pretty good at it, but not too many, because there's punishment involved if you set a good screen. Mm-hmm. Guys will run into you. And I think with Sabonis, he is so physically strong that guys look for ways to get screened without the punishment. I always say it's one of those things you can notice with teams that some guys, they figure out who's the toughest buckaroo around. And, all of a sudden it's like they, instead of trying to bust through the screens, they kind of lay on them. Mm-hmm. And that opens up shooters like Herter and Monk, and those for little drop-off passes and open shots. And, it's just, it's a real skill.
Yeah.
It's a real skill. It's underrated. How many illegal screens has he set this year? About 3 or 4, maybe all year. I mean, he's exceptionally good at a lot of the things that no other player seems to be.
No, I'm totally with you. And I mean, you mentioned some of the guys that he's made better with some of those screens, obviously his dribble handoffs as well. And then you look at the other main guy on the squad and De'Aaron Fox, and you've watched him closely over these years. And I mean, what an incredible leap for De'Aaron Fox this season. Obviously on the offensive end, being able to be so clutch in that fourth quarter, but defensively, what have you noticed so different about his game this season?
Well, he's certainly more aggressive on defense, and he uses his length and quickness to his advantage. And he's just better in every area. I'm really impressed with his rebounding. He goes and gets some good rebounds, and like you say, you have to be impressed with his ability to get good shots pretty much whenever he wants. And that's factoring in the fact that teams know that they've got to try to stop De'Aaron. And he's tough to stop. I have to go back to my days when I was a college coach in Kansas City and watching Tiny Archibald when he was great, led the league in scoring, 34 a game, 14 assists. And you just couldn't guard him. And that's kind of the way Fox is. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Fox have a few more years like this and he'd be a Hall of Famer too. But, he's, I think the whole thing has just worked for De'Aaron this year. And it's no disrespect to Halliburton because he was terrific. And it's a good move for Indiana. But the fit wasn't as good. And nobody to blame. It just wasn't as good as it is now because De'Aaron can really focus on being more of a scorer, not worry about playmaking because the biggest playmaker is in the center. And I think it's just it really worked for both of them because late in games, Domas knows that Fox is a guy to go get shots. Certainly. Nobody else can do that on this team to that level.
Jerry, what have you thought about the rookie Keegan Murray? Last night he surpassed his 200 made threes. There's only 5 guys in the league this year who have 200 made threes plus being at 40+% from 3-point land. That's Steph, Clay, Buddy, Kevin Huerter, and now the rookie Keegan Murray. What has stood out to you about him?
Well, he's a great shooter.
Yeah.
Number one, I loved him in college. I didn't know that he would be as good as he's been, But the thing I thought was struck me is watching him in Summer League. It seemed like every game he got better. He just got more confidence. He's not a thirsty kind of player, going to force shots, but started, working a little harder to get them and take them. And then we've seen this year. I mean, watching him play in November and then December, every month he's gotten better, added a little bit to his game. He's gotten more aggressive. We all thought probably earlier in the year he was just too soft. And now we're seeing him block shots, step in passing lanes, get some good rebounds. He's with, in my mind, he's the second best rookie in the league. I mean, Banchero will get it because of stats and deservedly because he has made Orlando 8-10 games better. So he deserves it. But there's nobody playing or more deserving than Keegan for the runner up to the rookie of the year.
Jerry, what was it like the other day? You were at that really bad. I mean, I want to forget about the game. It was against the Spurs, but you were watching the game with a buddy and they put a little video montage up there and you got a standing ovation.
Yeah, that was really a jolt, to be honest with you. I was just, Maury Gloucester, a good friend, had been kind of bugging me to go see a game with him. And I said, well, it better be an afternoon game. I don't like driving in the dark. And so so we did. And it was really nice to, run into some fans and have some visits with different fans and people like yourselves, and then just getting to see some good people, and that would have been enough for me. I wasn't expecting that. It was nice that the fans felt that way. I'm not sure why they do, but it's like Mrs. Reynolds said. I got home. She said, "Boy, when is this Jerry Fest going to end?" I said, well, it ended when I got home, I guess.
Oh my God, you're a treasure, Jerry, and she knows it too. Okay, come on now. I mean,
we have hung together about 55 years, so I guess there's some reason we're still together. I don't know.
Well, Jerry, I thought it was a cool moment. It was good. I'm sorry you had to see such a crappy game. They decided to put up that performance for you. I was like, what the hell was going on?
Yeah, that was disappointing. San Antonio playing without probably 3 of their top 6 players. And I like Doug McDermott, but I don't know why he'd get 30 points on anybody.
Yeah.
He's a nice end of the rotation kind of player potentially. And then Champagne or whatever his name was, it's like, my gosh, I thought we'd created Dominique Wilkins or something. But it's very disappointing. The whole thing about this team is, they're so hard to figure. They beat a good Pelicans team last night convincingly, after getting beat by a very bad San Antonio Spurs team. And they're better on the road than at home. Who figures that?
That's what I don't understand, Jerry, because the numbers too, the Kings on the road this year, and it's a big sample size. They're 8th in defensive rating on the road, but 29th at home. How do you figure that?
I don't know that you can, other than, maybe the coaching staff just has a little more control of them, by being on the road. Invariably you're together more and spend more time together. I guess. I don't know. Really, I've never seen like it. I always go back to the one year Dick Motta was coach, and they won as many home games as this year's team has. So they won 23 at home and 1 on the road.
Wow.
Now, how do you figure that?
Right.
You can't. But with a good team like this they have underachieved at home. I think that's true. You just expect an average team to win more games than they have at home, and of course only the very best teams in the league win as many as they have on the road. So, no, I'm going to quit trying to figure it. It's just that let's just hope that that turns around here rather quickly here, because go to the playoffs. That's the idea, is to have home court advantage. And if you can't win at home, it's not an advantage.
Right. Well, Jerry, it's always good catching up with you. I'm excited that the Kings are back in the playoffs, and you get to actually watch some Kings playoff basketball. I know you watch basketball no matter what, but seeing the Kings back in the playoffs for the first time since 2006, I can't wait.
Me either. It's just going to be, it's a real joy, and as you guys know, you've been around a number of years, and with the bad times. And I think the big thing is that let's all just enjoy it and see where it goes. I'm just not going to get disappointed with this team. They've already given me more than I expected. And like I say, I'm just glad that some people like yourself get to really enjoy it. You deserve it. You've hung in there through the bad times, so enjoy the good times.
We will,
but don't take them for granted.
We won't. We're soaking it all in, Jerry.
I've been saying it since I realized that they were good. There is nothing like the come up, the rise, right? Because that you mentioned that 98-99 season, how special that was. Next year, it's not going to feel that same way. This has caught everyone by surprise. The beam is a thing. The vibes are just perfect. Next year, there's expectations. You just never know how it's going to play out. So just enjoy the moment for sure.
You enjoy the moment. And as you're exactly right, though, the expectations will change. And some of the joy will be a little more couched because you're expecting great things. But, hey, if they can this team go on another 8-year run like we had back in the early 2000s, then I think it can. Got a great coach and great general manager and some young stars and why not? Why not?
Yeah. Well, Jerry, we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I'm sorry you couldn't see my beautiful face.
I know we miss it, but I'm glad we got to see it on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it was a real thrill for me to see you guys. And, that was a blast, and I appreciate the fans. I've always thought they overrated me a good bit, but I still appreciate it.
Oh, Jerry, you're literally the best, and I'm so happy you got that moment. And we'll see you soon, hopefully.
See you soon.
There's a one and only Jerry Reynolds.
A gem, a treasure, everything. He means the world to me. Ugh, I love him. I love him.
Yeah, and I love how much he is enjoying this too.
He deserves it. I mean, that standing ovation that he got. Like, I know he jokes, but he is seriously that humble.
He's a legend.
But he really is iconic.
Well, we'll talk some more hoops coming up. The Kings will be taking on the Mavs, trying to go back for back-to-back wins on the road. And I mean, if the Kings win, show up with shovel. How badass tonight would it be if De'Aaron Fox was? He comes off the bus and he's dragging a shovel.
We're good, dude. No, both of you, no.
Have the mindset. It's time to bury the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, Luka, we got a big coffin. It's time.
Are you jinxing something?
No, I'm just saying we put it out there.
Wow.
It's time to bury the Mavs.
Come on, have the mindset.
It's not about a mindset.
Oh, it is. It's about, what was my mindset yesterday before the game? Go in there with a raw Pelican.
You said that they were going to lose. You said the Kings were going to lose at the end of the show.
I said, but that wasn't their mindset. I was fired up, beat everybody.
All right, we'll talk some more Kings-Mavs. So much to get to. Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports 1140. SactownSports.com.
Mindset.
You need a big casket, huh, Chris?
Oh, my God. Chris, don't answer that.
Luka's tall.
Yeah, real tall. Like, you're probably going to have to get, like, Bam Bam Bigelow to get on top of it to keep it shut.
You guys, even I know who that is.
Bam! Bam!
He was in the movie Major Pain.
I loved Bam Bam Bigelow.
Loved Bam
He's
Bam Bigelow.
A guy his size doing what he did in the ring. Rest in peace.
Oh, he's
WrestleMania 10 when he teamed up with Luna against Doink and Dink.
Oh, I thought you were his match with Lawrence Taylor.
I was rooting for Bam Bam.
Bam! Bam!
You guys are something else. Oh, my goodness.
That was fun with Jer, huh?
Oh,
How about the chat with Jer Bear? Let's see here. Dude.
Love my Jer Bear.
How much time do we have?
5 minutes. Oh, yeah.
Let's see if we can do this in 5 minutes.
Do what? So curious. Oh, yeah. I do need to finish my NBC clip. Sorry. All right. We are again. What day is it?
Wednesday.
I want to find one more guest for them tomorrow at 1. We've Drew coming in at 12.
Drew. Drew.
Drew.
That's my
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
Drew McIntyre.
Oh.
Explanation. Drew.
God. Wrestling. What a funny thing.
It's the best.
It's the best.
My favorite thing is watching it with people that don't watch it at all.
That's not my favorite thing.
Oh, like if they're cool with it, like if they're open to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people are just like, and for me, because I'm more of a casual, I don't think I do a very good job of explaining everything.
See, I like watching it with you because then I could say like, oh, well, back like 15 years ago, this happened.
And I have like an understanding, like a fundamental understanding, but like, what's funny? I've enjoyed like my brothers, they have a fundamental understanding or even a little bit more. I mean, they're the ones, if anything, that were watching it while I was growing up playing basketball. Who do you think you're talking to?
Okay. Hey, YouTube chat, if you have not yet, do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. So what were you guys talking about?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about Drew.
Drew.
Drew McIntyre going to AEW?
See? Told you. Oh, that would be fantastic. I wonder how many people that were thinking about going to WD are just like, maybe it's better if I just.
How many people that went back? FTR is staying, right? I know you're not the FTR guy, but
I think they're going to be. I think they
Ring
might
of
go to
Honor?
ROH.
Ugh.
And once again, like, I think that they're great bad guy. There's like people that once they become like good guys, it's just like, you just lost. Like, you don't know how to be a good guy.
Let's see here.
Once you.
Cody Rhodes, I don't think knows how to be a good guy.
Even though
Roman Reigns didn't know how to be a good guy. It wasn't until we see him now that people actually like him.
But he is a bad guy, right?
Sort of.
He's one of those bad guys that people like, but he's also gotten so much better, like on the mic, more comfortable.
But like before, he was trying to be someone that he's not.
Right.
If you see like his early like FCW NXT stuff, is like, oh man, that was one of the things where people are getting mad at. It's like, you're stopping this guy from being who he is.
Ooh. Let me see.
Newcastle currently has a 2-0 lead over West Ham United.
No.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Manchester United leads Brentford 1-0.
This is not good. Not good.
When's the King? I wonder when the Kings injury report's coming out. Soon.
Deuce is very curious.
I'm just wondering if Davion starts, how many points will he have tonight? Like over under is like 27 with Kyrie out there.
You're ridiculous.
God, it would be so fun to see the Kings just destroy the Mavericks tonight.
Oh my God.
You guys are funny.
Like to where all of the Kings are out like with 3 minutes left to go in the third.
Okay, so I don't know if this is accurate, but the latest one I'm seeing has Luka and Kyrie as probable, and the only player listed on the Kings injury report, unless there's more coming, is Matthew Dellavedova.
Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports Headlines. The Sacramento Kings clinched the Pacific Division last night with their 121-103 win over the New Orleans Pelicans. The win also tied a franchise record with 25 road wins for the season, tying the 2001-2002 Sacramento Kings. For more on last night's Kings performance, check out our Kings insider Frankie Cardasoli's recap on SactownSports.com. The Kings are back in action tonight. They will be taking on the Dallas Mavericks. With the Kings win and the Grizzlies win, the Kings will clinch the third seed in the Western Conference. You can listen to tonight's game starting with game night at 4 and tip-off scheduled for 5:30 right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now back to Deuce and Mo.
Dude.
Was this 2003 as well?
It was.
I saw them in concert when they were at Arco.
I've seen them several times.
Is this just because like we were at a prime age that we were like, hey, we're teenagers, so we love this, that we look back at this music and go, there's some good music during the early 2000s?
I think it's because we're listening to the songs that are good.
It's nostalgia. Okay. Yeah.
And
There's
like
a lot
if you
of
go
bad.
back to like just awful music back
Okay.
then. If you turn on the radio in 2003, you'd probably be like, ugh.
But I mean, all those songs, I don't know. They just like, they make me feel good, and they're not even the greatest song. That song is great, but like John Mayer is amazing. I mean, I guess, but all those songs that we've shown so far are so many different, how do I put it? Like, they don't just fit in one box, right? Like I'm going to appreciate that John Mayer song for just what it is as an iconic song and what it did for so many people. Like Taylor Swift songs, I'm not a fan, but at the same time, like I get it. And I get like what those songs and how they made people feel, like what they did. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Do I sound like?
I got you.
I hear you. Here's a
Do you
question.
remember WWE using that song?
No.
For who?
Kurt Angle when he was making his comeback from his neck surgery.
Oh, like for a promo,
Yeah.
not like for an actual like entrance.
No. But they played it like over and over.
The latest Kings injury report I just checked out, by the way, does not list anyone outside of Matthew Dellavedova as being out for the Sacramento Kings. So I don't know if there's another one coming out, but I don't know. As it stands right now, Vegas has the Kings as 6.5 point underdogs tonight. Why are you laughing so much?
6.5 point underdogs.
Yeah.
Chris was visibly laughing out loud when I said that, like I was joking around.
Yeah, that's why
Okay.
we thought maybe like there's people sitting out that we didn't know about, or maybe Vegas knows something that we don't know.
Luka said he's going to try hard.
But Luka did say he was going to try hard.
Well, I mean, it's a huge game for like it's really a must-win for the Dallas Mavericks tonight. It's still at 6.5 at this point, but I don't know if Vegas is looking at a couple of things. Dallas is off.
Okay.
It was off last night. The Kings played a game. They had to travel to Dallas. Second night of a back-to-back. The Kings already have the number 3 seed pretty much locked up, right? Dallas or Phoenix isn't catching them.
No.
So they're locked in 3. Maybe they're assuming that the Kings would rest a little bit, and the desperation factor for the Mavs where they have to win tonight. They have to win. They are a half game right now out of the play-in, and that's not even enough because if OKC just keeps pace, they're not in.
Oh, okay. Here's my question.
Yeah.
If you were the Mavs this season, why are you even trying? Why are you trying to get into the postseason when I look at this season, like you're not going to succeed in the postseason with what you have right now. You're not going to go far. Like, do you think they have a separate belief in
what it is?
What?
Anything can happen.
Okay. And that's totally fair.
No, did anyone think that the Mavs are going to go to the conference finals last year?
No.
Did they think they were going to go to Phoenix and win a game 7 on the road against the Suns when Phoenix rolled over? No. You want to be in. You want to be in the dance. This is Luka. Like, you want to win. You didn't make that trade to be not in the playoffs. If anything, you want this team to get more reps together to figure out maybe Kyrie and Luka build some chemistry, and then you can find out, all right, here's exactly what we need going into the offseason.
It is.
So there's a lot on the line tonight. There's a huge amount on the line tonight for the Dallas Mavericks. And just like there was a lot on the line last night for the Pelicans would have been in that 6th spot had they beat Sacramento last night. So,
dude, since the trade, acquiring Kyrie Irving, the Mavs have now gone 6-16 since then to drop out of the play-in picture. I'm sorry.
They're 7-15 since Kyrie joined the team.
Okay, it's 7-15 then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. It's just I just think about this whole situation for Dallas and like having to even hang on the way that you're hanging on for that play-in spot, and it can't feel good. Now, I'm coming from a place of someone who has covered a losing team for so long where it's like they've tried so hard to limp their way even into a play-in when play-in came around, right? This Mavs team, they have championship expectations since having Luka on their squad. And when you see your team fall like this, I can't imagine how a Dallas Mavericks fan feels, how a Mark Cuban feels about their squad, or maybe the entire organization and what the hell is going on over there.
Well, because it leads you to wondering what the hell we do to fix this. And I know Chris Haynes says Dallas, despite the fact that they've gotten off to this weird start, they want to re-sign Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Now, predicting what Kyrie Irving wants to do this offseason, I mean, we don't know what Kyrie Irving's going to want next week. So I don't know. It's we knew it was going to be risky. I don't think anyone thought it was going to be this bad. I had my questions about Dallas, and I remember when the trade happened, we're like, look, those two are going to be tough, but what else is around them? And the defense. And the defense has fallen off so far after losing Dorian Finney-Smith, who was just like a utility guy for them. Would do anything, defend multiple positions. You lose Dinwiddie. They lost a lot in that. And then you factor in losing Jalen Brunson for nothing. brutal.
Well, Luka Doncic was asked about Jalen Brunson the other day, and he said, we've missed Jalen Brunson a lot. Amazing guy, amazing player. And then he also said later on, I don't think our offense is the problem, but anyone can score on us. Yep. Mavs ranked 7th in defensive rating last year, 23rd this season.
One NBA note involving a Sacramento Kings player.
Yeah.
Who got a lot of G League time. Neemias Queta finishes in the top 3 of MVP voting in the NBA G League this year. Carlik Jones was the 2022-23 G League MVP for the Windy City Bulls.
Wow.
The NBA announces that Neemias Queta and Nets two-way guard David Duke Jr. finished 2nd and 3rd in voting. So congrats on Neemias Queta for a nice second year in the G.
Yeah.
Where did the Windy City Bulls play out of?
Believe it or not,
Oh, yeah.
Chicago.
But aren't the Chicago Bulls the Windy City Bulls too?
No, there's Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
We should call the King. Well, if the Kings lived, if Stockton played in Sacramento, call them the River City Kings.
River
right?
City. Oh, okay, I like that.
Yeah, they should.
What was the inline skating? River City Rats.
The River Rats.
The River Rats.
Wait, no, that's the river. That's a raft place, right?
I thought it was like the River City Rats.
I don't know.
This was the place here?
It was. They were like inline hockey.
Okay.
You're the big rollerblading guy.
Huge.
That
I don't
is
remember
true.
that though. All right, we got to take a break on the radio side. We'll talk to you guys coming up. You can hit us up 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Also, youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports 1140.
They were the Sacramento River Rats.
Sacramento River Rats. I've got to email my boss. Oh my goodness. Someone talking back there?
Yeah, there's actually other people who work in this
It's
building.
just,
believe it or
but I
not,
thought this
so.
room was soundproof, you ass. Come on.
Talk to the people while I do this, please.
Oh, yes, sir. 1 second, everyone. I was just sending myself something. All right. What's up, party people? Cal says, I'm loving what I've seen from Len. Yeah, I mean, we talked about that earlier. I think we've been talking about it, but like, it's not just his presence out there. Like, oh, can you just hang out there? Can they just go with another big body? It's like he's making a little bit of an impact. Let's look at what he did last night. It was in his 13 minutes. He had 4 points, 2 blocks, 1 assist, 4 rebounds. He had 4 fouls, and that's something that we've seen to be a problem with some of the bigs, especially when they come in. And, sometimes you come in, you get handsy, got to make sure you're moving your feet and using your chest. And I think Alex Len has done a much better job of moving laterally, but I do also appreciate him being aggressive and getting his hands in the passing lane. Morgan, are you doing the Warriors game on Friday? I'm not. They don't have me back on until the Sunday game against the Nuggets. So, but I'll obviously be there. I'll be doing my pre and post game hits and everything. But yeah, and then in the postseason, I'll host whenever Kyle's doing play by play, and whenever he is not doing play by play, I'll be doing some. They're calling it sideline, but it's more like I'll just be doing some pre and post game hits in game.
You're not going to be doing any hotes?
No more hotes. I'm kind of done
with the hotes.
I'm done with the hotes. Nick says, I went to the River Rats games back in the day. They had a skate night where after the game you could go skate on the floor.
Just let it slip. Yo. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote
what a
down.
song.
The whole crowd goes so loud.
He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking now. Everybody's choking now. The clock's was out.
I messed it up.
Hey, Just Mason, Morgan Reagan. We're very much vibing with the 2003 tracks today. Last time the Kings won.
I know. What a good time.
See, I think we like it because we remember the Kings being good when this music was out.
That's very possible.
You know, that was my jam though, coming out in high school. So like they'd play that as the song we'd run out to.
Really?
I think everyone had that
So
song.
cliche.
Dude, it didn't matter. I was so amped. And I remember because I would always start the layup line. And if I ever missed my first layup in the layup lines, like I was so superstitious, like such a freaking weirdo. And if I missed,
you got over that.
I'm so glad I got over that. Yeah, superstition. And if I missed my first layup, like I would always end up having like kind of a bad game. And I was probably just in my own head because I'm a lunatic. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what song 20 years from now we're going to be like, oh man, remember that? It's probably some like Drake song, huh? Like in 2043.
Dude, there's a lot of amazing artists though. There's like Lizzo. I think about Lizzo. I think about like a lot of her songs are just
Has she had a good song this year?
Okay.
Okay. I don't know why that's
I
offensive. It
see
was a
what you're
question.
saying. You're saying for this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but some of these movies and these songs that we're going over still came out earlier, but they were very popular in that time. Like that Phone Booth movie came out in 2002. It did when I looked it up, but it must have still been popular April of 2003.
It's going to be Taylor Swift.
Oh my God, dude. Well, okay. I don't know if you guys saw this. JJ Watt like went to her concert and did a whole post about it afterward and was like, she did 40 songs and does an experience, not just a performance. Like she is just like this magical being. And it made me respect just her ability to create this different type of art form of performing in front of, 40,000, 30,000 people live. Like that's pretty incredible. So anyway, yes, she's going to go down in history as the most iconic thing during this time. I'm not even a huge fan.
Speaking of icons.
Yeah.
How about our buddy Nick? Hey, it's Nick with Deuce and Mo. We didn't hear from Nick last night after the Kings won. Nick, where were you last night?
Rivercats game last night.
What time did the game end?
Around 9:30, something like that. They lost.
He was working.
Wait, you were working last night? No, you weren't.
No, I was a guest over there. I was able to get free tickets from. Coach Carl gave me free tickets from. The tickets were from Special Olympics.
Oh hell yeah, Nick!
Nice.
All right, Nick. What's on your mind today?
I would like to say that we won yesterday. Why not like the beam yesterday? Fire the laser.
Morgan.
You know what? Fire the laser. Why not light the beam? I love it. We just need 3 more beams. 3 more beams, huh?
No.
Oh.
19 more beams.
Oh, 19 more beams. 19 more
19.
beams.
Why not like the beam?
Why not?
All right, Nick, real fast, man. We got the Mavericks tonight. We got Luka and the Mavs. What's your message to the Dallas Mavericks? If Luka was listening to you right now, what would you say to him?
You are going down.
Oh,
that's it.
You are too small.
Oh,
too small.
You think he's too small? I think you're the first person in history to call him small.
Beat us. We are too good. You can't beat us.
You can't beat us. I like it.
You are going to lose. They're going to lose. Dallas is going to lose tonight. They can't beat us.
I need you to sound I need you to sound a little meaner when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks. How do you feel about Mark Cuban?
Oh, we're going to beat them too.
Yeah. Hey, Nick.
Dallas. Why not beat Dallas? Why not beat Dallas?
Nick, give me a hell yeah.
Give me a hell yeah. Even Jerry Reynolds said, why not?
Even he did.
He did.
Oh,
Because
he
of you,
did.
Nick. Because of you, you're famous.
He said, "Why not? Why did he say that?"
Because of you.
Was he? How did he know that I said why not?
Because he listens to you and he likes you.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's why Jerry Reynolds was quoting me like, "Why not?
Why not? Why not?" Well, Nick, we'll talk to you later. All right.
Jerry Reynolds lives in Roseville, just like me.
Yep.
Oh.
Sleep beams.
Sleep beams. Hey, see you. I'll be at the watch party for ESPN 1320.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for letting me know. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Nick. That is so cute. I love it. Nick plugs himself in other stations. Yes, we know. Ugh, love him. Love him.
Gotta love Nick, man.
Why not 50 wins? Why not, people?
50 wins would be pretty sweet. The Kings would need just 2 wins out of the next 3 to reach 50 wins.
Wait, they need what?
2 wins.
Yeah.
To reach out of the next 3 to win 50 games.
Yeah.
Was that confusing?
No, you know what's funny? For some reason, I thought you made it much more complicated than needed to be. And I'm like, don't they just need 2 more wins?
Yeah, 2 wins in the next 3 games.
Yeah.
They've got 3 opportunities to get 2 wins.
Do you think they can do it?
Yes.
Oh.
Stomp the Mavs tonight.
Okay.
Take care of the Warriors.
Okay.
Rest everybody against the Nuggets.
Well, okay. How about this, you guys? If they don't get that 50th win by Friday, like let's say they win tonight, but they don't beat the Warriors, do you think they play people on that Sunday to try and get that 50?
I don't know that they'll need to. I think Denver's going to sit a lot of guys too, so maybe he would start. I don't know. I don't know how important 50 is, because I think too that
that's what I'm wondering.
At some point you have to go, okay, we want to keep guys healthy too. We got the playoffs coming up, and you could technically get hurt at any point in the game, but you just don't want to risk it either.
Right.
So, because what's 50 wins if you lose one of your guys getting that 50th win, and you're like, oh, well, that was cool.
That was worth it. Not.
Yeah. No, you don't want a situation like that. By the way, around the NBA tonight, some interesting games. Grizzlies and Pelicans. The Pelicans favored by 5. Battle of LA tonight. Lakers and Clippers. The question is, will AD end up playing tonight in a back-to-back? In a big game, by the way, because the race for 6 is crazy. Clippers now are a half game behind the Warriors for the 5th spot. So the Clippers are in 6th right now. The Lakers are in 7th, but they're tied with the Clippers headed into this game tonight. Think about the storylines. LeBron.
Bah.
Oh my God, that was so annoying. I was going to mention also Westbrook. After the game last night, LeBron was talking to the media, and his teammates were making goat noises behind him because LeBron to go.
You can make shots offensively. You got to be able to get stops down the stretch, especially when you're playing against teams that's been scoring. So we had to get stops, and we did that. You can just do it. I gotta stay focused. I'm locked in.
Hey, just like your starting backcourt, Dennis and Austin average. They combined 46 and 10. How important was that? What would you guys do?
Makes that fun for our backcourt to me.
Is there any part of you that likes it?
It was cute for the first 3 seconds. Oh, I get it. But then this is the media trying to talk to LeBron after an overtime win against the Utah Jazz. Just let them do their jobs.
Okay.
We get it. He's a go. Really hammer that one home for 12 seconds.
If you ask me, they sound like a bunch of sheep.
Oh, what does a goat sound like? I don't know if I want to know.
I don't know.
I was saying because they all just follow each other.
That's a good joke.
It's not a good joke.
I gotta say, no, it's actually better now that you explained it. Some of the goats were actually pretty good goats.
Honestly, thought maybe there was real goats in there.
Bah!
Bah! Oh God.
All right, who is a better goat? Me, Morgan, or Chris? Bah! Bah!
Bah! Oh my.
Chris? Nah. You go with it. You haven't like a and at the beginning.
Nah.
I do a beat. Bah.
Wow.
Nah. Why are you saying
That's what I hear goats sound like.
They don't use an N.
They don't.
They say it's a B.
Bah. Why does
This is
my
more-
goat not sound like a goat?
Morgan's bah.
Bah.
Pretty bad.
It sounds like you're a ghost in a haunted
It
house.
sounds like I'm Toad.
Oh, yeah. You got it. That's it.
All right. Well, coming up next, we're going to talk to our guy, Combo from Combo's Corp Podcast. He joins us straight ahead. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports 1140.
Oh, chat. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom, but I'll just wait for Mr. Busy. Wait for Mr. Busy. Really sorry about my goat sound. I'll work on that, everybody. God, there's so many things to do, so little time. What's the deal with? All right. Ba is a sheep. Okay, well, chronometer. Then what's a goat?
See?
Then how do you do a goat? You'll entertain yourselves if I go to the bathroom. I don't know. Sounds like they're a bunch of sheep. That's funny. Morgan sounds like a ghost. Yeah. Sound like old people ghost. Okay. Morgan is sponge goat. Like SpongeBob. Bah!
Okay, so I've got it here.
Okay.
Now, does this sound like a B or an N?
Okay. N. Nah. 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 It's like nah. Nah. N-A. N-A. Oh, God. What's wrong with
That's
that
a
one?
baby goat.
Oh, okay. Oh. Like, honestly, if I didn't know what a goat sound, I'd be like, is that a dinosaur? I just heard real goat noises, and it's N-A. N-A. N-A-H. Nah. Nah. Oh my God. I hate myself. I hate myself so much. I don't like that. Deuce, I was gonna run to the restroom if I'm allowed.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Been all over the place today. How's everybody doing in the chat? If you have not yet, hit that thumbs up. Seeing if there's. Hey, by the way, do you see what the Wardle Award was today?
Kings.
Deuce.
Was it? Spoiler alert.
I'm so happy that people got to type my name in today.
Do you still Wordle or no?
No.
Do you still Purtle?
No. Once they left the New York to the New York Times, I was out.
Sellouts.
Yeah, there was something about it. Just it felt like it got too complicated for me.
Yeah.
Chris, are you going to go to any playoff games?
Probably not. Unless the Kings would like to send me there.
That'd be cool.
Or if anybody needs a friend.
I need a friend. I'm taking Chris.
You know what they should do for the playoffs? They should have the for $50, you get to be the like a seat filler. So when people get out of their seat, especially during
Imagine how
halftime
complicated
and
that would be for a playoff game. Oh, Harry Mack was on TNT last night, dude.
No way.
With Candace and people, they were shocked at him. Are you familiar with Harry Mack?
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Laud with your Sactown Sports headline. Sorry about that. I'm Christopher Laud with your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings clinched the Pacific Division last night with their 121-103 win over the New Orleans Pelicans. With the win, they also tied a franchise record with 25 road wins for the season, tying the 2001-2002 Sacramento Kings. For more on last night's Kings performance, check out our Kings insider Frankie Cardicelli's recap on SactownSports.com. Kings are back in action tonight. They'll be taking on the Dallas Mavericks. With the Kings win and the Grizzlies win, the Kings will clinch the third seed in the Western Conference. You can listen to tonight's game starting with game night at 4 and tip-off scheduled for 5:30 right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now more with Deuce and Mo with our guest Combo of Combo's Court podcast.
Wow. 2003. Last time the Kings won the Pacific Division. Before last night, I'm just getting some updates from Dave McMenamin over at ESPN. The Clippers-Lakers are supposed to have a big-time showdown tonight, right?
Yeah.
Anthony Davis and LeBron are both listed as questionable for tonight's game. There'll be game-time decisions. Do they just want to be in the play-in?
I just don't get it. Like, what is the point of sitting out right now? What is the point? Anthony Davis is going to get, he tweaks his body, finger, nail, whatever, every single second that he's out there on the floor anyway. So, and I'm not even trying to be mean. So, like, if you're just trying to not take a risk, I think it's a little ridiculous when you're needing to win.
Maybe they're just content being in the play-in. I don't know. Seems strange to me. Is our guy Combo ready? Let's go to him. It's been a while, and I love that we're having him on today because before the season, our guy Combo from Combo's Court, Andrew Salup, we were on his podcast, and we were predicting the Pacific Division. I think I wanted to believe that the Kings were going to win it, but then I backed off of it because I talked myself out of it. How crazy is this? Combo, what's up, man?
I'm doing well. How are you guys? I feel like if you would have put some money on it, I'm not a betting man myself, but if you did, you would have won a lot, right? Those odds were crazy for you.
Dude, 250-1 odds, and it went to 400-1 in November. That's insane.
Put 1,000 on that, huh?
I mean, for real.
Life-changing
one, but it is hilarious that we were talking on your podcast about, or wherever we were talking about this on, about the division and where the Kings would land. And it just it felt so, I don't know, unreal to even put the Kings above a lot of the teams in this division. But at the same time now, you're seeing it. All their play has validated this is who they are. They are the division champs, and they've earned it. They didn't limp there. They've earned it.
They definitely earned it, and it's great to watch them play this way. And I think the biggest key for them moving forward will be the defense, because obviously it hasn't been great, but we do see flashes. When it's at its best, it's not too bad, and we know the offense is going to be here. So this is going to be a really interesting playoffs for the Kings, and I can't wait to see it.
Dude, what's crazy, I was looking at the home versus road numbers, and at home, 29th in defensive rating, and then on the road, 8th. And last night against the Pelicans in a big game, right? Like, they played some pretty good defense against the Pelicans team that had it going over the last 8 games. Ingram was doing damage. They're putting up a lot of points, efficient basketball. And the Kings stepped up. And I just can't figure it out. You know, we've talked to so many people trying to get their theories. It is strange to have that type of disparity, road versus home. If anything, you would expect it to be the opposite too, where maybe they would struggle more on the road.
Yeah, I think when you look at stats, there is some randomness there. Like when we look at clutch stats, they say that to take nothing away from De'Aaron, but they say there is some randomness there, right? You know, in my opinion, the Kings have a top 3 fan base in the NBA and a top 3 home court. Like, I love the arena. Come on, what's better than the Beam? So I don't have a great answer for you there, but I think things will swing back around and they will be better defensively at home during these playoffs.
And I don't know. I mean, obviously, you're watching so much of the league that I don't know if you caught up on any of these games this week, but you had the game on Sunday against the Spurs that the Kings. That was Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Sunday. The game on Sunday that the Kings lost to the Spurs. It was just embarrassing. It was on their home floor. The defense was awful. It was a little scary. Then you had them with this bounce back game against the Pelicans team that has been playing pretty well together. And when I say a bounce back game combo, I'm talking both ends of the floor, locked in. They responded to the awful loss on that Sunday night. You know, there's times that I get scared of the team that we saw on Sunday, that's what the Kings are going to look like when the pressure hits in the postseason. And then there's times I feel like, no, they're going to be that team that we just saw last night against the Pelicans. Is that normal for me to feel? And do you feel like this team is going to be a little bit more consistent when the postseason hits?
I do. And Mike Brown said it best. You need a sense of urgency. And if you don't have a sense of urgency in the playoffs, I don't know when you're going to have it. So I'm expecting this team to be locked in and ready. The Spurs thing was interesting because the Spurs are in the Wemby sweepstakes right now. And for them to get that win was just weird. Maybe it was because the Kings recently clinched and there was a little bit of a letdown. But NBA players are going to play, right? I mean, these guys are competitive. These guys are fighting for their own jobs and they want to win. Maybe organizationally, the Spurs didn't want to win, but the players on the court, as we've seen, wants to win. But great bounce back. Brandon Ingram is an absolute handful. So he came out gunning too.
He did.
He came out gunning. And then, the Kings weathered the storm. And their connectiveness on defense was just amazing. A team obviously not known for defense. They showed that sense of urgency that Mike Brown talked about, and they proved that they could play really well on that side of the floor when they want. And defense is all about effort. So we know what they can do on offense. And if they could show this Kings defense in the playoffs, they're going to be a scary team, even though the teams are trying to say that they're not scared of them. Like Draymond, I think, said that, right?
Yeah. I know Draymond was like suggesting that the Sacramento matchup might be nice, mainly because the travel, right? That 90-minute car ride between Sacramento and San Francisco. It's not, you don't have to. I mean, I guess they could take a plane if they want to be like a 10-minute plane ride. Maybe they would just bus in. I don't know. But that travel is not that big of a deal, right? So, you could go home in between games if you wanted to.
You really could.
Which would be huge for, I think, both teams. When you look at that 6th spot, it's crazy how much it's juggling. Like last night, there was a moment before the Warriors won and beat OKC that the Lakers were in it. But as it stands right now, it seems like it's kind of a 4-team race for that final 6th spot in the West between Golden State, the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Pelicans. What matchup do you think would be most favorable for Sacramento out of those 4?
I would say the Clippers because they play a more isocentric brand of basketball. And I think it'll be easier for the Kings to defend that type of style. Look, the Warriors at their best are still very scary, and Wiggins will be coming back soon. You still got your core championship guys there, so I don't think you want to play them. Look, man, against the Lakers, I think it would go 7 games, and I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't bet against LeBron in like a long, drawn-out series. Just one of the smartest basketball players in NBA history. Many would argue the greatest player in NBA history. And the Clippers with no PG right now, we don't know what's going on with him. Maybe he'll be back. Maybe he won't. But I think that would be their best chance. But look, the Kings got a chance against any of them, and the West is wide open, as we know.
Yeah, you mentioned the Lakers one, and you just saying Kings-Lakers Game 7 just triggered so many bad memories, flashbacks of 2002.
Robert Horry.
Oh God!
Combo,
how dare you?
You don't say that name here. That's almost as bad as dropping an F-bomb on air. You can't. We don't like that name. No. Yeah, it just triggers so many bad memories. But there would be something special if the Kings did play the Lakers and the Kings beat them in 7. Wouldn't it just feel like full circle moment? It'd be like, I know it's like, different.
I feel like you guys want the Lakers. I feel like that's what you guys want.
So I go back and forth, right? Because you know what? At this time of year, Kings fans get nervous. I don't want to play this team. Oh, man. Bring it on. Yeah. You're in the playoffs, and the West is so bunched up this year that I agree with you. You could probably beat any of these teams. And there's a part of me that would be nervous about the Lakers or Warriors for sure. But, man, if you could beat the Lakers or Warriors, you could end the Warriors as we know them. And how special would it be to be that team?
Wow. I like it. I feel like you're bringing your wrestling mentality.
You're right. You know me. We're wrestling guys. So, I mean, of course that comes to
I saw you ringside recently, so I know you were hyped. You guys actually been wearing your emotion on your sleeves lately. You super pumped ringside,
Dude.
and then Mo with the light the beam, she almost cried for the playoff clinch. So I love
Yeah.
how you guys are wearing. I love how you
I
guys are wearing your
know.
emotion on your screen. But
It's been
yeah,
so long.
I think it would be great for them to beat the Lakers, for you guys to beat the Lakers. And then I guess that Robert Horry thing, it wouldn't cast that spell as it does now, right? If you guys could get that done and beat the Lakers. So it's 4 teams here. I think did they knock the Pelicans out with that win against them? Because it's going to be tougher for them now, right?
Yeah, so the Pelicans, as it stands right now, I mean, they're still a game out of 6, so that's pretty challenging for them at this point. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy to see. And there's honestly an outside shot at this point. The Kings aren't out of the race for number 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because Memphis plays New Orleans tonight, and New Orleans favored. But if the Kings beat Dallas and the Pelicans beat the Grizzlies, the Kings are 1 game back with a couple of play. Now, you're going to have to win out, and they're going to have to kind of fall apart here. But if they tie at the end of the year, the Kings actually have the tiebreaker. So that's kind of an intriguing element. Dude, the end of the season has been wild this final week, and just not knowing. I was mixed on the play-in when they first announced it, but I got to be honest, I think it's been a great thing for the league. How have you felt about having the play-in the last few years?
Yeah, I agree with you. I was a little bit iffy in the beginning, but I think there's really not too much bad you could say about it, right? Like, all these games are competitive. Now the teams that are around that 9-10 range still have a chance. It makes exciting, like March Madness style games, right? Because it's either 1 win or 2 wins or whatever it may be. But I love it. I think it brings a different dynamic, and I'm all for it. We'll see if the midseason tournament will have this kind of effect. I think they got to figure out what the motivation would be for these players for that tournament. That's the biggest thing there. But, in anything, you got to keep evolving, right? You got to keep getting better. Like with you two, like look at you guys now. You guys weren't in a nice studio like this about 3-4 years ago, right? Look at the evolution. So the NBA got to evolve. Deuce and Mo got to evolve. Combo got to evolve, and we got to keep getting better.
Yeah, I'm with that. The midseason tournament thing, you mentioned the players. How do we get the players motivated? How do you get the fans to care too? I don't know. I think the idea of doing something mid-season would be cool. I just think you should open it up. Like, have a couple of G League teams involved. Have a team from the Euro League come over. You know,
yes,
I mean,
I love that.
That's where, to me, it gets a little more intriguing, right? Because
they don't want it. They don't want an NBA team somehow losing to a G League or a Euro League team. That would not be a good look for the league. You know,
like the 36ers beating the Suns in the preseason. Remember that happened?
Wow.
Over the,
Wow, the Suns. What if the
crazy.
Suns? I mean, this wouldn't be good for you guys, but the Suns could go from losing to the 36ers to winning an NBA championship. Who would have thought?
Oh,
that would be crazy.
It could happen. I mean, you know what? Right now, too, Combo, anything can happen in the West, and that's something that's been like the theme of the Western Conference. It feels like almost all season long, and the only team that I don't. Not the only team. One of the teams I don't have a lot of faith in. The Kings are taking on tonight, the Dallas Mavericks, and you look at their year and what has gone down in Dallas. And since adding Kyrie, things just haven't looked so amazing like you wanted them to. 2 things. Do you see Kyrie being part of the Dallas Mavericks squad next year? And do you think Luka is going to get to the point where he asks for some change?
This is all a disaster that all started with their decision not to make sure to get Jalen Brunson on this team for the long term. I mean, that was obviously a terrible decision. Then they trade their depth and defense for Kyrie Irving. Now, they were already at a disadvantage from that move with Jalen Brunson. And I don't think this all falls on Kyrie. I just feel like they were trying to put a Band-Aid over a mistake they made in the offseason, and it just made it worse. So I think Luka and Kyrie are fantastic players. It's obviously not working out right now, but they just don't have enough depth or defense to win in the West because we see how good the West is this year.
I also think there's something to Luka feeling some disappointment. And, you know, sometimes as a player, sometimes as a team, you have to go through the pain of maybe having a disappointing year to realize what you have to do or the team has to do to get to the next level. And as talented as Luka is, I think it's clear we can all watch him and go, he could be in better shape. He could
Yes, I agree.
have a better demeanor on the court, dealing with officials and getting back on defense. And his potential is unlimited if he can look in the mirror and be honest with himself. And I think that's something that should be talked about more with Luka. Is, for as talented as he is, he's had a disappointing year, I think.
Yeah, I mean, look, it started out great because he came right out of Eurobasket and he was in shape, ready to go. But over time, I think the load got to him. And you're right, he does have to do a better job of taking care of his body. It shows on the defensive end more than anything. Like, he just doesn't have enough to be that level of offensive player and have enough on defense to play at even an adequate level. Look, will he ever be like Michael Jordan and Kawhi Leonard are absolute anomalies in the way that they could be the best offensive player and the best defensive player. Obviously, Michael Jordan did it for a longer period of time than Kawhi did it, but Toronto Raptors Kawhi was just that. Now, is Luka ever going to be that? No, but he has to be at least an adequate defender and get in enough shape to be able to play both sides at a, defensive side at a high level and then be an all-timer on the offensive side.
The Nuggets have held on to that number one spot in the Western Conference for quite some time. And last night, obviously what went down with them losing to Houston, Michael Malone not happy about it after the game, calling them soft. And we saw Jamal Murray get hurt early on in that one. Jokic only played 25 minutes, but just not good performance from anyone with the Nuggets. Do you believe in them as a team and them possibly coming out of the West, or are you still like it's up for grabs for anyone?
Well, I think both those things are true. I think I do believe in them, but I also believe in like 7 other teams. So it's wide open. But, they have proven the most this season, right? More than any other team in the West. So I definitely believe in them, but it's just so wide open. And we never seen this much talent when it comes to like 6 through 10, right? In the West. Like, these teams are all really good and some of them could actually win it all. So we never seen the West this wide open, but I definitely do believe in Denver. They made some key pickups in the offseason with Bruce Brown. They made a mistake letting go of GP2, but they got him back now and he's going to help them. He's a little banged up. Wiggins coming back. But with Denver, I do believe in them. They have phenomenal offense. The question, just like the Kings with them, is the defense.
Yeah. Do you see any, could you just envision, because you talk about this, the West, do you see a world where the Kings could come out of the West? Is it possible?
It's possible. And I think there's 3 keys to this.
Okay.
I think there's 3 keys to this. There is X factors here. And I think the obvious one would be Malik Monk. Like, everybody looks at Malik Monk as an X factor, right? He's coming off the bench. He could score in bunches. So if he plays well, that definitely helps. As I talked to you guys about in the beginning of the season, Fox is where the team goes. Now, we know the offense is going to be good, but can he lock in defensively, right? I think the defense for Fox is going to be huge because I think the offense will definitely be there. Sabonis is not an X factor to me. Mike Brown is not an X factor to me. They're going to both show up as their best player. Okay, you could say De'Aaron Fox is the best player, and as their coach, right? So I think the other X factor on the offensive side of the ball is actually Keegan Murray, because while he has been great in the regular season, can a rookie contribute to winning in the playoffs in a way that could help a team win a championship? So I think those are the 3 X factors for the Kings to come out the West.
I think that's fair. And Keegan, obviously, with the 3-point shooting, surpassing 200 made threes yesterday, doing on over 40% 3-point shooting. But, it's fair. Like, come playoff time, like, how is he going to embrace his first playoff experience?
Well, and we've seen him at times too, and we're not sure what it is at those moments. It's like, oh, is he feeling the pressure? Is he feeling like he is doing too much, so he's not being confident and being aggressive. And that's the thing. You need him to have that same type of mentality that he's had throughout the regular season of like, I make an impact when I have the ball in my hands. I make an impact when I am on the floor. So I need to make sure to stay just as aggressive. In combo, we've seen him stay aggressive, but do you think he has do you think he's going to keep that same confident mentality going into the postseason then? Or is that like a weird thing for rookies to do?
I think it'll be tough because it definitely is a different dynamic in the playoffs. But from what he's shown, especially later in the season, right? He had a few hiccups midseason, but for what he's shown, his development in a winning construct has just been amazing. And I think maybe he's not the rookie of the year because Paulo has been absolutely outstanding. But one thing he's doing that Paulo isn't doing is doing it in a team construct. His development is not only individual, it's as a team as well, and how he fits into a team, which is just incredible for a player as young as him. And I would even go a step further now. So this time of year, the Kings are usually looking at the draft more than the playoffs, which is great that you guys don't have to do it. But I would seriously consider drafting his brother because I think it'll be good for the vibes of the team. Look, when you get your draft pick, there might be a guy more talented than him out there. But I think the vibes are important. And his position is so coveted in the NBA. You need a lot of guys like Chris Murray's height, right? And we see how well Keegan has adjusted to the NBA. So I think it would bring them tremendous value to actually draft Chris and have that duo there, right?
I like where Combo's going.
I love
it. He's into twin magic, like the Bella twins used to have in the WWE, right?
God.
Is that's kind of where you're going? A little twin magic with Chris and Keegan. Yeah,
that's where I'm going. It was, you know what, tag teams was always like tricky to figure out if the guys were actually related or not, right?
Yeah,
that was always like a thing. Yeah. But what
did you watch Mania, by the way?
I didn't, man. I'm not. Yeah. I'm more retro. I'm more retro wrestling guy. Like I watch documentaries about the past.
Yeah, I did not actually. I don't even think I watched any of WrestleMania.
We had didn't we have a wrestling conversation on your podcast? And I tried to drop like some Owen Hart take on you.
I actually asked you, so I started it.
Yeah,
maybe it was the most underrated wrestler ever. I think you might have
Owen Hart, dude. Love that guy, man.
I think Mr. Perfect is one of the most underrated wrestlers.
Mr. Perfect is great. I mean, the old video montages where he used to I forget. He always used to do it with like a Minnesota Viking or a Minnesota Timberwolf, where he would throw the ball to himself like 100 yards and go catch it, or he'd be like,
so stupid.
Mr. Perfect was a man. Kurt Hennig.
He was absolutely perfect. You know what I mean?
He was, dude. Dude, Combo, always good catching up with you. We encourage everyone to check you out. Combo's Core Podcast. And someone in their chat was mentioning you're on the God, why am I blanking on it right now? Basketball
B-ball breakdown, maybe?
Yes, B-ball breakdown. And
I got Coach Nick. Yep. Live shows all the
Nick,
time.
Dude, one of the OGs. Like, yeah, you're on that show all the time. And people in the chat were mentioning that. So yeah, always good to have you on, man. And hopefully we could chat with you again throughout the playoffs.
Maybe before the finals.
Oh, don't do this to us.
Before game one, huh? Maybe
the way Deuce jumped off his seat.
Dude, don't get me fired up for a little NBA Finals in Sacramento. The NBA world wouldn't know.
Deuce was about to go off the top. Deuce was about to go off the top rope right now.
You're damn right. That would be amazing. All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much, man.
Anytime. Talk soon. Appreciate you guys.
Bye, Combo.
He's great. Love his passion.
I do too.
And any retro wrestling talk gets me.
Oh yeah, you and Chris can get into that.
Owen Hart and Mr. Perfect. Can't hit that.
Can't hit that.
All right, coming up next. How about a little story time with Chris Verlot, baby? And we'll get you ready for Kings and Mavericks. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports 1140. Tinkle time.
It's tinkle time. Da na 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 na.
It's my tinkle. It's now or never. 'Cause I can't wait forever. I don't like rhyming ever and ever.
You do go. It's my pee. It's now or never. And I ain't gonna hold it forever. I really gotta pee right now. It's my pee. Oh my God. We should for fun on Friday, we should do a P song montage.
Live or recorded?
Dude, I could practice Thursday. That's the only, and I'm off Thursday from here. But I could try and do like a mashup. I can't mash up the actual like music.
Yeah.
But I could try to do like a, God, I wish you were in the background of a song. Okay, if I can figure that out and like send you a video of my mashup, and I'd be like, Chris, here, like this is where you would sing like P P P P. You know?
I got you.
Okay, I'll try. Don't have much time.
Don't work this hard at it.
I know. I'm like trying to work in between. So stupid. Anyway, chat. Tinkle Time remix. Man, Jake, what the hell is that energy? I think Keegan would struggle in the playoffs. Come on now. You don't know that for sure. I got some faith in him. Hi, Deuce Mason. All right, I'm gonna post.
Hey, yo.
There's. Here.
Can't wait. Are you excited for story time? Huh?
Oh God, yeah. I was like, when are we gonna get to that? Because I live for it.
It's tough to find stories this week, but they are definitely interesting.
Okay.
I need to change. There we go. Kings.
You can look, but you can't touch. They'd have to play that for Keegan and Chris if they. Can you imagine if they came out dancing like the Bella Twins?
It's hilarious that Morgan didn't see what I was doing.
No, I didn't.
It's crazy looking at the injury report late in the season for NBA teams. So long. Detroit. No Bagley, Bogdanovich, Burks, Cade Cunningham, Diallo, Magruder, Isaiah Stewart, or Livers. Knicks. No Brunson, Julius Randle. Oh, man. Are you scheduling that for?
No, I just posted on my story too.
You're so cool. You're so cool.
Yes, so good. Yes, so
you can look.
Looking up.
Oh, where's my cookie?
It's cookie time. Okay.
I need it all for
the cookie. Come on, the cookie. Come on, so you can get that cookie. Shove it in your mouth. Shove it in your mouth.
Why didn't Limp Bizkit? No.
This
What are you
one's
doing?
mine. This one's mine. I didn't finish my cookie.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. And I know for a fact this part, I still had some cookie left. I measure out my cookie. Like, are you kidding me?
What?
It's like drugs for
why
me.
does it connect to this?
It doesn't connect to that.
I just took. You think I just took off a piece that
Deuce,
big?
This doesn't even fit on the cookie. Oh, that does look like it could fit.
You're such a dumbass, dude. That was literally it was a whole cookie.
Well,
And
no,
you-
really?
Yes, dude.
I finished my part of my
Yeah,
cookie.
you did.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, why didn't Limp Bizkit last longer? Like they hit hard and then
Did they really have a downfall?
I mean they had a moment and it was over. I mean, they were huge, Chris.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you talking.
Limp Bizkit?
No,
No, but they had a moment where they
did have
monster.
a moment of like 3 years. They had 2 albums.
Fred Durst became a total sellout. How?
I think it would be nice if I could touch your body.
Didn't he start as a sellout?
Oh, no. I loved that version of the song. And I was too young to know like the George Michael version. So I was like, oh my God, yeah. Sounds
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings clinched the Pacific Division last night with their 121-103 win over the New Orleans Pelicans. The win also tied a franchise record with 25 road wins for the season, tying the 2001-2002 Sacramento Kings. For more on last night's Kings performance, check out our Kings insider Frankie Cardacelli's recap on SactownSports.com. The Kings are back in action tonight when they will be taking on the Dallas Mavericks. With the Kings win and the Grizzlies win, the Kings will clinch the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. You can listen to tonight's game, starting with game night at 4 and tip-off scheduled for 5:30 right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now more with Deuce and Mo.
You know I got it, baby. If you give it to me, I'll give it to you. As long as you want it. You know I got it.
Great song. Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan. Chris has been playing songs from 2003. Can't believe it's taken that long. 20 years ago was the last time before the Kings took care of business against the Pelicans yesterday and won the Pacific Division. Before we get to story time with Christopher Lott, let's check in with our buddy JR. Hi, JR.
What's up, you sick goats?
What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, Morgan sounded like Dracula made love to a lamb or something and produced that goat. What the hell was that?
I don't know, dude.
bad.
I got to practice.
I wanted a blah, ha, 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 whatever the hell was that.
Good bit, RJ. What you got? What you got?
What you got? We want the Warriors. Just straight up. And by the way, hanging the banner is going to be awesome. Nice to have it after 20 years. Some of us younger kids remember the days when we used to like burn Laker jerseys at the half court.
Dude,
we used to friggin' hang
by the
out.
way,
It was great.
You mentioned
time.
that literally happened before a game. The Kings, like imagine.
Oh yeah, I was there.
They burned a Lakers jersey. That would never happen.
You know, no, they did a whole Mission Impossible. The Maloofs were in it. Jay Ross knows the history, and it was phenomenal. The whole crowd stood up. We never sat down. Phil Jackson looked like he was just going to freak out. And he was just. It was awesome. We should do it again. But we want to play the Warriors.
Why?
So we can travel. We'll all go down 80 in a big old friggin' convoy to take over the damn Chase. Hell, I own half the Chase Center. Let's just go down there.
Do you?
Take it over and yeah, sure. And obviously make our statement down there and take the champs down and put them out of the misery because
you got a ticket.
They're kind of like a lamb.
You got a ticket.
Been injured. Sure, I'll get you there. You guys, Morgan owns the city. What are you talking about? She does her pregame there and then flies up on her Learjet into Mather or something.
Yeah, or my car and have to be in the car for 3 hours during the day. But no, jet sounds a lot better though.
She goes down there and gets her eyebrows done by some specialist in the city or something.
I wish.
You wish. You guys rock. You are the goats. We're friggin' Pacific winners, dude. We are champions of the Pacific.
I love it.
Champions.
The Pacific goes.
Let's all go dive in the Pacific Ocean today, huh?
Yeah, no.
To celebrate?
No, sharks are like up and like at it.
Sharks are good for the ocean. We need sharks.
Oh, I love sharks. I'm just saying, like, that's not our.
And like, who are they going to bite? Like someone from LA or some idiot from the area?
And yeah, I mean, that is true. But my point is, like, don't be swimming in their space. You know, it's just the same thing with camping. Like, you gotta be careful with those bears.
Well, maybe there's gonna be some bears appearing in today's story time with Christopher Lott, baby.
We interrupt this program for an important announcement.
It's that time of the day where Christopher Lott gives you the stories that you need to hear. Or maybe not. Story time.
Story time with Christopher Lott, baby.
All right, how about we go to New Jersey?
Bears?
No bears today.
Okay.
I apologize.
No
bears.
Okay.
Let's go to New Jersey. This is courtesy of today.com. Mark Mangiardo, he started his teaching career in 2005, 2 years after the Kings won the Pacific Division.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
During that time, people complained that he smelled like alcohol and had to discuss it with the principal. From 2012 to 2016, he was constantly being told that he smells like alcohol, but he denied the allegations. He eventually became an athletic director, but 3 weeks into his new job, he got pulled over and was charged with a DWI. He was given a second chance, but 6 months later, he was charged with another DWI and was put on administrative leave. At this point, Mark's wife thought he was living a secret life. She thought he was hiding his drinking because he would smell like alcohol and his speech would be slurred and he had balance issues. Mark went to a doctor and they ran a glucose challenge and discovered that he has auto-brewery syndrome. Now, this is when the body takes sugar or carbs that you eat and converts it into ethanol to where it's as if he's been drinking. So during this test, within the first, he had a sugary beverage, and within the first hour, he had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.14, which is about 5 to 6 drinks.
What?
So this is a thing. It's very rare, but it's a thing that happens. And from this knowledge, he has cut down sugar. He's cut down carbs in his life, so he doesn't make himself drunk, basically. He carries a breathalyzer test with him, so he makes sure that he knows that he's not under the influence at the time.
Yeah.
But since then, everything's been great.
What a weird
Eating,
problem to
you
have.
eat a piece of bread and you're just like
blacked out.
And like to not know. Okay, I'm sorry.
And do you act like completely drunk though? Like
his words were slurring. He had trouble balancing. Yeah.
It was in his system.
Wow.
So
and what's bad is like he's telling his people he work with, he's telling his wife, I'm not drinking. And they're just like,
yeah, okay,
come
man.
on, man.
Yeah. You have a problem. Go to rehab. And he's like, fine.
But here's my thing. After the first, like, what are those things called? DWI?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you like go get checked and be like, okay, this is a problem if like I'm driving and
well, after the second one, that's exactly what happened.
I mean, it should drink the first time, like it's a little. So does he get those off his record?
No, well, technically, he was driving under the influence.
Yeah.
Oh my!
He was drunk.
Too much bread.
And sugar. Oh my God, sugar! I would be like.
Man was arrested after drinking or eating a half loaf of bread and driving.
Now we know why Morgan was going so crazy for that cookie.
Yeah,
dude,
cookie.
I'm just wasted off cookies.
What's next, Chris?
All right, how about we go to Canada?
Yes.
This is courtesy of the Business Insider.
Great anthem.
Canada has a super pig problem that might also become a problem for the United States. So in the 80s, Canadian farmers started crossbreeding domestic pigs with wild boars when boars became like a big thing to eat in local restaurants. So they wanted to crossbreed them to make a bigger and more prolific swine, in their words, to sell to restaurants. The new pigs also grow thick, furry coats to survive cold Canadian winters. But unfortunately, in 2001, the boar market collapsed in restaurants and there was no need for them.
No.
Unfortunately, these pigs got loose. They're going around the countryside. And these super pigs are stronger and more adept to get around fencing and are absolutely terrible for the environment. The pigs can grow well over 600 pounds and eat everything in their path. They prey on frogs, salamanders, nests of ground nesting birds like ducks and geese. And some have been found with white-tailed deer in their stomachs.
Okay, so it's a dinosaur. It's not a pig.
Oh, yeah. They go around destroying the land, digging up plant roots and everything else they can eat. Ryan Brook, who's a wildlife researcher, said they leave a trail of destruction that makes it look like a small bomb went off. The pigs also contaminate water that causes disease for humans. But now that we know what the problem is, how do you fix it?
Do you kill that's so sad, but is that what you'd have to do?
Like you have to hunt them?
Yeah.
Drone.
Brooks says that we can't, quote, barbecue our way out of this problem. People have suggested that you hunt the pigs, but Brock says that pigs have 2 litters of 6 every year and reproduce too quickly for hunting to keep up with the pigs.
I'm sorry. If you sent enough people out there to hunt, wouldn't it?
This is Canada. This isn't America.
That's true.
Do you want to solve the issue? Let's solve it.
Yeah.
Brad Miller comes in.
Oh my God, Brad Miller.
Oh, get Brad Miller.
Brad Miller with the
Give him a
helicopter.
helicopter.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
Can you imagine just a whole bunch of boars just stampeding through your backyard fence?
Dude, it's scary when you think about all these animal stories lately. It sounds like squirrels are chewing through wires, boars are going wild, and
600 pounds.
600-pound boars that are turning into dinosaurs, and then you got hippos wherever that story was.
You know what they say about boars too? What are they good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very good.
No.
So now they're telling people to be on the lookout for boars in Canada and the United States.
When you're being out on the lookout, what is that like? What do you do?
You call for help. You say, "Hey, come kill this boar."
What would you name a pet boar?
Pet boar.
I'd go Al.
Al, come here. Al boar.
What was it?
So stupid.
It took me.
Did it take me for you to say it?
Yeah, I know. I know.
All right, final one here. United Kingdom. This is
Hello.
courtesy of the Mirror. Are you guys excited for Easter?
No,
No?
I don't know.
You guys don't have like a favorite like Easter snack or treat or whatever?
Easter has always been so overrated.
Chocolate bunny.
Chocolate bunnies
chocolate
suck.
egg.
No one likes chocolate.
Champagne drunk. How's that?
Yes.
So in the UK, Deliveroo, it's kind of like their Uber Eats like type of thing.
Okay.
They're hoping that you will have a new Easter tradition, a Southern fried chicken flavored Easter egg.
Oh God.
So starting tomorrow, the Southern fried Chalkin, what they call it, will be available to order in London, Manchester, Bristol, Leeds, and Glasgow. The egg is made up of a double layering of chocolate and is coated with a layer of caramel flavored chocolate. Then it is dunked in, quote, a savory, crunchy, and punchy outer shell inspired by Southern fried chicken. The eggs sell for about £4 and comes in a Deliveroo branded box complete with a cutout in the shape of a chicken drumstick.
I'm good.
£4 in U.S. currency. What is that?
$2.50.
$6.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, $5. Okay.
I don't know currency.
No, you don't.
The dollar's always bigger than everything else, right?
Yes. Are you trying it? You said.
If it was available here, I think I'd try it.
I'm out.
I would try it.
So I'll just eat chicken. That's fine.
I mean, I don't even like to eat any of that, but yeah, I'd try it just for fun.
Yeah.
Happy Easter, champagne drunk and eating some fried chicken egg thing.
That sounds like a day.
What?
That was a fun story time.
That was very PG. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, we'll get you closer to Kings and Mavericks. Plus, Rami should be stopping by too. We'll find out. Hey! It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports 1140 and SactownSports.com. Hey, Mo, did you see what the award was for Wardle today?
No, but now I do. How weird. What up?
What's up, man?
Wednesdays with Mommy.
What's going on, man?
Not much. Oh, you guys said tell you when I have a comedy gig. I have a comedy gig.
When?
Lance on the 26th at Punchline.
Okay, wait,
26th of April? Yes, sir. At Punchline with Lance Woods?
Dude.
Hell yes,
Congrats. Wait,
dude,
I'm
hell
looking
yeah.
at my calendar. I'm just going to
Is it what time's
jot
that
it
show?
down.
Is that like a 7 o'clock show? Too?
All right.
Hell yeah.
April 26th. That's a Wednesday. Cool.
It'll be game 7 in Sacramento. Just kidding.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Would you have, what would you do?
Watch game 7 later.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So funny. I couldn't think. What is it called? I put comedy
Punchline.
store. Punchline. Thank you. I put comedy store because I could not think of punchline. Dude, that's.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know the Kings playoff schedule.
No.
I've had that happen.
Yeah.
And just nobody shows up.
And you're like,
That's
hey, for the
interesting.
people in the back, hey, gonna practice a few lines here.
I remember the first time I was featuring at the first club I ever worked at, and it's a weekend. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday weekend, and the Packers had a Thursday night game.
Oh wow!
And this was in Milwaukee, and literally he came to me. He was like, we sold 6 tickets for the show. So we're still going to pay you because we know you could be working somewhere else right now, but we're not doing the show. We just gave them 6 free tickets for later in the weekend, and they canceled the Thursday night show.
Wow.
That's actually very cool.
Yeah, I would say that'd actually be cool if you to do it for 6 people. So
I've done shows for 6 people.
And is it just intimate and kind of like almost nice?
No, it's weird.
Oh. Really?
It's just like you're just talking to a group of people, right?
Yeah. But are you more like interactive, like engaging with the people? Do you kind of change
need
your
this mic actually?
Yeah. You literally, I have just put the mic down and just talked to them.
Dude.
I think that is the way to go if it's a crowd that small. Just
okay.
Yeah, just make it a conversation. Let's get to know each other.
Yeah. What's your name? You're not even doing jokes at that point. You're just yeah, we'll meet up next Thursday. Okay. That's cute. That's funny stuff. Oh my gosh. Well, hey, did you enjoy that win by the Kings last night?
That was fun.
Right?
That was fun. That was a good one.
A good little bounce
rocky
back.
start. Brandon Ingram was doing Brandon Ingram things, but then they slowed him down, and it was a good one. That was a good one. That was an easy game to watch. You know what I mean?
How would you feel if the Kings sat out their guys tonight?
I don't want that.
I don't think they're going to.
I don't want that.
I saw the latest injury report, and there's the only guy they have listed as out is Dellavedova.
Okay.
So I don't think they're going to do it. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I say sprint to the finish line. Sounds like Domas wants this, but that's not surprising.
Yeah, he'll
like
do
that guy's
anything.
just
he'll sprint. And he won't stop. Oh my God.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me at all. But I think you've had that mentality all year.
Yeah.
Like, let's just go out every night and go hard and get wins. And I think stopping that now, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think this team doesn't have the pedigree where I go, yeah, they'll just turn it back on in 2 weeks when the playoffs start. You know what I mean? I don't trust them to do that. So.
I know. Same. It's like, I know some people get to the whole, like, even tonight we saw that Lakers Clippers. I'll get to it.
No, I'm not the little boy that I used to be. I'm all grown up now, baby, can't you see? Slinky's mom has got it going
Deuce
on.
Mason, Morgan Reagan, been playing songs from 2003 all day. Crazy. The Kings win the division for the first time since 2003. Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan. Got our guy Rami here. They're coming up, Kels and Rami, at 2 o'clock. By the way, we need to note this.
What?
Rami said he's going to let us know when he's got a stand-up gig coming up. He has one April 26th.
Punchline.
Turn on your mic.
Why don't I hear me?
Yeah.
Punchline with Lance Woods.
With Lance Woods?
Yes, sir.
That is so
in
cool.
Sacramento,
Yes.
April 26th, 7 o'clock.
Go online, make sure you got your tickets, the time.
It's a good venue, too.
Yeah.
I love that venue.
I did a guest set there with Jay Moore once.
That's right.
And, that was fun.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah.
very good room. Like that
It's a cool room. Yeah, it's such a random location. You'd be like, why is this comedy club next to a mattress store at this
But they've
point?
developed it more
Looks
and
better.
more.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, I'd love for that building to be downtown, midtown somewhere, but it's still a great venue. I mean, every
Obvi.
comic says good things about it, and that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. No, and that shopping center has
And they
keep
bring
growing.
through great. They bring through like the biggest comics that
it's
are,
been
that are
like
touring right now.
everyone goes there. It's one of the
It's
best
the
spots in
spot.
town.
Yeah.
Jesselnick was just there over the weekend.
Dude, we always hear
Wait,
Bobby.
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
We always hear Bobby Lee talking about Sacramento
Yeah.
and Punchline as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Why are you laughing?
Because the story he told on the
Well,
podcast about
It's not.
hanging out with an older woman. At
Yes,
one point.
it's
Yeah.
not for here.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Anyway, Kings bounced back in a big way, and as low as I felt on Sunday after they lost the Spurs in the fashion they did, I was really impressed with how
That was
they
a good bounce
responded.
back. That was a good chaser. You know what I mean? You took like a really bad shot and you got a tasty chaser
Like
to
what?
just wash it down. You know what I mean?
What's a bad shot for you?
I'm from Chicago, where they for some reason take pride in something called Malort.
What
you guys
is
ever
this?
and it's literally known for being disgusting. That's what it's known for, and it's a Chicago drink, and Chicagoans for some reason take pride in drinking it. Like you start your night with a shot of Malort, and I'm just not down for it.
What's
man.
What's the chaser? How do you cleanse
you
your
had it
palate
before?
after that?
I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what kind of liquor or
It's just
alcohol it is.
Liqueur? Is it a liqueur or is it just a?
It's kind of like if you were to take Jägermeister and like bump it up to like 30.
Whoa, whoa.
or like Fernet.
That
Like,
is a great way to put it. Yeah.
Is it that thick?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it's not really thick. It's like it's a shot.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, yeah, it's a normal shot, but it's not good.
I had it, and like everyone's saying that's the worst thing you'll ever taste in the world. It's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst. I think that was built up in my head so much that when I had it,
You're
it's like, it's not
that's
that
not
bad.
that bad.
I've had worse.
Yeah. But no, it's not good.
The loss to the Spurs was worse than that shot for you.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
Worse than a shot of Malort.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I really liked how they played. And I think the most encouraging aspect last night was just seeing what they were able to do defensively in that
They
game.
were
because
active, man. They
we
were
just
all
haven't
over
really
the
seen
place.
that from them.
They were
a
all
lot.
over the place, which is good to see. I hope Mike Brown doesn't have to call them soft every other playoff game to get that out of them. You know what I mean?
I know.
But it was good.
I know.
It was good to see that.
I like that, like, whatever he does say, they definitely respond to.
For
Like,
sure.
that's been the good thing. There's always substance to it. There's always bounce back from it. But you're exactly right. It's like, why do you even have to get to that point? And especially on your home floor, and they got home court advantage. I mean, they need to start losing so they don't have home court advantage.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
how we can make them feel not at home. So that you can get that, that you can get that performance out of them.
I feel like, and I think I'd feel
What
worse.
if in the pregame warmups they cheered the other team's names?
Oh,
and
yeah, just
booed
make it
and-
opposite everything.
Scott Moak makes it huge for the other team.
Like the other team's like, wait, why are they
There's
doing
like a
this?
light show, smoke. Is
Honestly,
going on.
not a bad idea. It would throw the other team off so much. They have like pyro. It's like, here are the Golden State Warriors.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Flip it on 'em.
love it.
Flip it on.
I've always thought about for like an opposing team. You know how everyone goes crazy when they're doing free throws?
Yeah.
If for somehow you could get the entire arena just absolutely silent, like would that mess with them?
I think for some it would be very like, what just happened, but for others it would be very helpful. I hate loud people, or especially when there's just one that sticks out. Like mentally, I'm
And now
not
that's
strong.
annoying.
Yeah.
I like groupthink loud. I don't like just a random loud guy.
Yeah. No, awful.
I feel like
right
the-
here, guys.
I feel like the good news with the Kings, like I know the home stuff has been disappointing, but I feel like that seems like something you could figure out. Like if they were bad on the road, like the Golden State Warriors are 9 and whatever, you'd be like, oh, it's gonna be tough in the playoffs. But you have to think they can get it together at home, right? If you can go win on the road and also be good on the road, where they're their second offensive rating and now 8th in defensive rating on the road, you should be able to apply that to the home floor a little bit.
You would think so, but we're 79 games in,
Yeah.
Deuce, and this is still the case. This is still what's happening. You know what I mean? I don't think at this point we can go, that'll change, like for better or worse. You know,
Yeah.
there are probably people who were expecting Domas or De'Aaron Fox to stop doing what they were doing and look like all NBA players at some point this season. But we're at the point where it's like, no, they're that good. You know what I mean? But when
Yeah.
it comes to this home away thing, it says, I mean, until I
weird.
see otherwise, it is what it is in terms of those home struggles. You guys mentioned the division championship coming
Yeah.
out of the break. I asked JJ this the other day on the show. We didn't get into it with Nick yesterday. Are division championships a big deal
No.
around here? Because
No,
it's
no.
never been a big deal for
Here.
me in the NBA.
Let me explain.
Please.
Let me explain.
Please do.
20 years, right?
Sure.
So even in the beginning of the season, Deuce and I were making jokes about like, if they could be division champions, like not a big deal. And now that we're here within this week in this special season, we're like, you know what? This is actually really cool. This won't be cool in another year, not as cool. It won't be as special as
Okay,
it feels
that's
right
fair.
now. But,
Yeah.
20 years in the making until we're playing, songs from 2003, 20 years ago. And we're like soaking in everything that's factoring into this season that is
To me,
special.
it's just a milestone. It's not a big, clearly a baseball division means more. You're popping champagne. I mean, you don't pop champagne in the NBA because I don't feel like divisions matter as much, but I still think it's hey, you accomplished something. And I think, especially when you haven't made the playoffs in this long, appreciating the journey and like the different milestones is cool.
Mhm.
No,
I get that. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying anybody else
Yeah.
shouldn't celebrate it or enjoy it. Celebrate
Yeah.
away, enjoy away. And JJ actually made a really good point when we were having the discussion, which was look at this division. You know what I mean?
Right.
And nobody, when you have Phoenix and Golden State and the Clippers, you got Hall of Famers on all those teams. You know what I mean? Nobody saw the Kings coming. So that grading it on that curve, I think really says something. And also the fact that, it's been 20 years and it's been a long, hard run just in general for Kings fans. So celebrate everything.
Enjoy it.
I guess. Enjoy every little thing here along the way.
It won't all be celebrated like this every year. And that's why we keep telling people, even with like the playoffs, we're just like, people are like 40 wins. You're that excited. It's like, yes, this season, but expectations, everything's going to change, and that's great. It's going to change.
Sure.
What do you guys have coming up today on the
Obviously,
show?
we'll talk a lot of Kings. We'll talk about last night's win. We'll talk about that defense. Can they keep dialing up that defense when they need it in the postseason? Also, we do a little thing called Big Deal or No Big Deal. Baseball viewership way up. Big deal or no big deal?
I think it's a big deal.
Yeah?
I think it's a huge deal. I mean, I think it's a better product to watch now because of it.
Sped up.
You can sit down and watch a game in 2.5 hours. That's huge, I think.
Yeah. Committing that much time to anything. It doesn't matter if it's basketball, football. Well, football's, only once a week or however, depending on what you watch with your team.
People carve out a whole day.
Yeah. But baseball, good job making it shorter.
Good.
Gotta evolve it. Well, stay tuned, Cals and Rami. Coming up next, you can listen, of course, 11:40 a.m. on the free Sactown Sports app and dial in with YouTube, man. Get in the chat. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. We love you guys, but we got to go. See ya.